1-800-983-6530, and Heritage for the Blind will do the rest. They'll even arrange for your vehicle to be picked up at no cost to you. And for a limited time, when you donate your car, you'll receive a $200 restaurant voucher and a 2-night, 3-day hotel stay at one of 50 locations. Call 1-800-983-6530 right now to schedule your vehicle donation and make a positive impact on the environment while helping others. Heritage for the Blind, where every car donation counts and every person makes a difference. Call 1-800-983-6530 now. This advertisement is paid for by Heritage for the Blind.
Hi, this is Sean McVay of your LA Rams. The Rams play here. KSPN, Los Angeles.
710 ESPN.
A good karma brands radio station.
Here we go, Wednesday, September 18th, 2024. Travis Rogers, DeMarco Farr.
The far side. You ready for the far side? I'm in the far side.
You're in the far
Let's
side.
Go.
Welcome to the Travis and DeMarco Show for this Wednesday and T-Raj Sweet Tea's college tour. Were you ready to Cappy up and slow, taking kids to college or something? It continues today, which means the USC Trojan Andy Kamenetsky sitting in for Travis. And yes, it is USC Michigan week, so let's get to the fun, shall we? The Travis and DeMarco Show this Wednesday right now.
Let's go, baby!
Yeah!
Like a run-ins. Let's go. Kick off.
Yeah.
C and Big D. There it is. What's up, AK?
How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. It's Wednesday. Let's go.
Dude, you leapt, and bounded into this studio.
Yes.
House of Fire energy.
Excited.
You were all over
Aren't
it.
you?
Yes.
Wake your ass up. Let's go.
Very excited to
Yes.
be here. The new 9 a.m. hour in for Travis, Andy Kamenetsky. Obviously, DeMarco is here. Jorge's here.
I mean,
Emily's
DeMarco's
here.
been up for, 5 hours by now?
4 hours.
4
5
hours.
hours. It
Yeah.
is 5 hours. You're right. 4 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, and I got up late today.
Wow.
Yeah, I usually
It's
get
the
up.
middle of the day for
Yes,
DeMarco.
I didn't have to make soup.
Wait, what?
If I have to make soup, like my daughter's lunch, I have to get up at like 3 to make the soup.
Wait, you hand make the soup every day, or do you
Dude,
put it in
I
a
am the
can?
Ohtani of my family.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I hit, I steal bases, I pitch.
Well, here's the thing, too.
Injured.
If you're talking about making soup, like if
Making
you're talking
soup.
about just cooking,
Yeah,
I'm somebody who likes to cook.
yeah.
Making soup is fantastic.
Isn't it awesome? Yeah.
Making soup is one of my favorite things to make.
Yes.
talk.
Like, what do you make? What do you make?
I love to make like different chicken noodle type
I
varieties.
just made chicken noodle soup 2 days ago.
I made
Yes.
pozole a couple weeks ago.
who?
Pozole.
What is that?
It's like a
Who?
It's like a soup.
it's like a tomatillo base.
Well, I know it's like a soup, but what is it?
tomatillo base Mexican soup
with
usually-
chiles.
Chiles.
hominy, either
Hominy?
Beef or
chicken or pork.
Pork, yeah.
Spicy? No? Tomatoes?
Depends on what you want it to be.
Yeah.
Like the tomatillo, that's the base.
Yeah.
That is not spicy. If you want to add some chiles, some jalapenos or whatever, you can
I'm going to
spice
start
it
posting
up.
some
Oh,
recipes.
you're talking about
Yeah.
the green one.
Well, either
Because we
one.
make it red. We make both, green or red. Mhm.
That's with tomatoes, I assume, right?
I like the green
yeah.
more.
Yeah, the green's cool.
I like the green more. The red's good. I also too. I don't know how to make the red from scratch. Like if I make the red, I'm going to be starting with like a canned sauce.
Will a 9-year-old like it?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
See, I need recipes. I do. I'm running out of stuff.
No, but like
yeah.
vegetable soups are fun to make. Like
She doesn't like vegetable soup. We
well,
tried.
You
Yeah.
can dress it up.
I tried. I've tried every way to dress up vegetable soup. It ain't happening. It comes back. The thermos comes back full. You see, right? Comes
That's
back full.
After all your hard work.
That is
Right.
the worst. When my daughter comes home after I put legit effort into making her lunch.
Yes.
And A, it comes back like half or more still there, and B, she doesn't look hungry. It's not like she said, you know what, I'm making a choice.
So sad. I know.
She just ate someone else's food. Like it's a
Right.
real
She
slap
just
in the
left
face.
you there. I know. I
Yes.
just feel bad. Well, if it comes home full, well, guess what you're having for dinner? Because we're going to eat this. We're not wasting food. That's just how it goes.
Absolutely.
But what's the name of that soup again?
Pozole.
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 Anybody got a recipe for me? For Dad? Anybody? Yes? Yes?
I'm sure that people...
877-710
Thank
ESPN.
you. No, you guys. I don't want to solicit phone calls. Come on. Anyway.
Soup talk.
From you guys in the room. Come on. It's
No,
parent
my
talk.
favorite soup is the Zuppa Toscana from Olive Garden remake, and you can make it.
Zuppa?
Toscana.
Toscana. Okay.
And it's just like
Zuppe.
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 I'm gonna call it Zuppe.
I'm walking here.
It's like a hot Italian sausage, kale, potato.
Hot Italian
creamy.
sausage.
My wife makes a version of that. It's really good.
It's really
Hot
good.
Italian sausage. See? Okay, I need that recipe. Thank
There
you.
you go.
Not from everyone in LA that's driving right now. People in this room only. Yes. And be
Our
careful
soup
out there.
line is open.
Thank you. Yes. But look, we got to do a lot of stuff and get ready for the show. So, yes, I've been up for 5 hours. That's why
Woj bomb!
I'm so excited.
Woj bomb!
And look, I am not going to be afraid because the Rams are beat up. And because San Francisco's coming to town. I could care less. I'm going to be energetic. We're going to have fun.
Well, you know what it is? You find your safe place of zen at 3 a.m. making soup.
I do. And walking. But yes, I cannot wait when we beat San Fran this week. Really?
Yeah.
See, I know. See, this is why. I cannot wait. Everybody's going to have to eat it. Yes, just like Feinbaum, just like everybody that wishes bad on Dion. When the Rams beat the Niners this weekend, you're all going to have to eat it. It's going to be so much fun
Now,
on
when
Monday.
you were walking at like 5 a.m, did you see the Woj bomb?
4.
The final Woj bomb.
No, Woj is done?
Woj put out on his own Twitter that he is retiring from the news breaking industry.
No.
Very long, not very
What's
long.
his real name again?
Adrian Wojnarowski.
Wojnarowski. Okay. What is
Put
that?
out a statement.
Yeah.
I grew up the son of a factory worker 2 miles from ESPN's campus and only ever dreamed of making a living as a sports writer. 37 years ago, the Hartford Courant gave me my first byline, and I never stopped chasing the thrill of it all. The craft transformed my life, but I've decided to retire from ESPN and the news industry. I understand the commitment my role, and it's an investment I'm no longer driven to make. Time isn't in endless supply, and I want to spend mine in ways that are more personally meaningful. Went on to thank the people at ESPN that he's worked with, Jimmy Pitaro and Christina Douglas in particular.
Good job, Woj.
Then let it be known he is headed back to his own team, meaning St. Bonaventure.
The Bonnies.
And he is going to be helping run the basketball program.
That's awesome.
For St. Bonaventure.
The GM of the St. Bonnie's basketball team.
Which,
I'm
by the
still
way,
trying to get used to that. GMs in college.
I was going to say, really lets you know the NIL age is upon us because there's now a GM.
I'm trying to get there. Yeah.
The 2 things jumped out at me. First of all, obviously, just this is seismic for the NBA and for the sports news industry in general. Like, Adrian Wojnarowski was not just the guy behind every Woj bomb and, the who can be first between him and Shams and, those races, Chris Haynes, Mark Stein, all of that, and just that industry in and of itself. Like, Woj was a one-man industry.
Oh, no doubt.
And
Woj kind of led the league for a while, ran the league, and everybody you couldn't wait for a Woj bomb. But it really, him stepping down in a year, are we going to really notice? Because there's going to be somebody else that steps into that void.
Well, it depends on who else steps up. Because the void isn't probably just going to be filled by one person. There may be, say, somebody like Shams or Chris Haynes.
That's who I assume. Shams.
Or whoever. They step into the ESPN role.
Whoever Woj was beating to the punch, that next guy is going to step into that role.
But then somebody else may end up elevating themselves in that news breaking industry because they are no longer competing with Woj and Shams and Haynes and Sam Amick.
But there's only room for one at the top. There's only room for one Woj. Woj gets it out first.
Well,
that was the thing.
Woj was in a lot of ways the guy that created even the concept of this whole thing.
Oh, wait a minute now.
Well, no, in the social media age especially.
Oh, okay. What was his name? The guy that died from the NFL. Oh, God, that hurts me. He passed away not too long. He was the information guy. Oh, I'll find out. But he did it a long time ago. But go ahead.
Sure, but I
Chris
think
Mortensen.
Chris Mortensen. Thank you very much, Emily. Yes.
But in this particular age, like the social media age, and also where this period of the NBA that has become, in a lot of ways, very news-driven, very soap opera.
The trades are almost as interesting or more interesting than the actual games being
rumors
played.
Right,
exactly.
Drive the league.
And Woj helped create that culture.
Oh, no doubt. But as soon as Woj steps down, there's going to be one guy that steps in because there can't be 2 or 3. There's only room at the top for one.
Well, there's been 2 because Shams and Woj
Shams
have
and
gone
Woj
back
and that was the battle. That's what so I'm assuming Shams would step in, and then there'd be somebody trying to challenge for that throne.
Chris Haynes is going to be elevated, and he is, I think, a free agent as of right now.
Chris Haynes also, great at his job
Yes.
and a really good guy. He also has worked at ESPN before.
Right, exactly. And then, if you think about the NFL, we have Adam Schefter, but we also have Ian Rappaport. And you have Jordan Schultz, and there's all sorts of newsbreakers. And
that's funny. Didn't we have Rappaport and then Schefter, and then it became Schefter and then Rappaport? That's how funny it changes, right?
I think when you have the ESPN label slapped on you, you automatically get elevated if you're a newsbreaker in that aspect. But, it's like the idea that Woj had to be 24/7 on call is insane.
The thing that jumped out at me, again, beyond just the industry shift, was the statement where he said, I understand the commitment required in my role and its investment I'm no longer driven to make. Time isn't an endless supply, and I want to spend mine in ways that are more personally meaningful. It's rare when you see this type of statement say, in so many words, the lifestyle effing sucks, and I'm over it.
Time is luck. Yeah, Michael Mann.
It is so difficult to do what those guys do just from a mentally draining standpoint. You're always
How much do you think he makes? Just ballpark. Just guess.
I don't think he makes the most at ESPN. I think that's Stephen A. still.
Throw a number out there.
But maybe $2 million.
$2 million. Okay, so
a year.
So let's double that and say I'm going to hand you, AK, $4 million to do what Woj does. But let me guarantee, I'll give you $4 million, but you probably will never see your daughter. Your relationship will change. You won't see. Are you married?
Yeah.
You won't see your wife. Your phone will never, ever shut off. Would you do it? And you'd be as famous as Woj. You'd be as dialed in as that guy. Would you do it?
I don't think I am wired to do that job.
See, that's what I'm saying. That's a lot to give up.
You have to really want to do this.
Yeah.
I've never been a news I spent many years doing print media, whether for ESPN or for The Athletic or the LA Times. I've never been the newsbreaker guy. 90-ish% of what I've written have been basically the essays, columns, that sort of thing, features, more in a lot of ways either opinion driven or just sort of telling a story. But there have been times where filling in for different people or in the playoffs or whatever, I've needed to do some just news writing, more of a straightforward, this happened from practice or this injury thing, whatever. I hated that.
Yeah.
And that's not even a grind. That's not even the grind element.
I talked to Chris Collinsworth in Detroit, and I asked him, what is your life like? I said, when do you start on the next game? And he goes, on the way home. So he's doing the game, doing Detroit versus Rams. When that's over, he starts on the next game.
And consider that he's doing one game a week. Nothing to
every day, nonstop.
It's crazy. And the thing is, too, that he is taking a step back to be a GM in the age of NIL is that just shows how hard his job is.
Would you switch places with Taylor Swift?
No.
You wouldn't?
No.
To have her life, her money, her fame, her everything?
No, because it comes with everyone dissecting your every single move. You can't
Doesn't
go out.
Seem like much fun.
You can't go out and enjoy the money that you make because you're cloistered into your own home.
I think that's what Woj meant.
Well, look, certain people are wired for it. It's very clear. For example, Travis Kelce is wired for this type of look at me lifestyle, which I don't mean as he's a look at me type of guy.
He can handle the attention.
He likes it. He actually, you have to
you can't get to him.
You have
most
to
of the
like
time.
a certain, but he knows everybody's watching me. He's doing more things with the goal
to draw attention.
Look at me.
Odell Beckham Jr. loves it.
Right.
He really loves the spotlight.
There are certain people who genuinely love being in the spotlight.
Yeah.
And, for a while, I can tell you just from what I observed and also from hearing things, I think for a while Woj did love the lifestyle. He loved the
chase.
The constant swirl and being at the center of it.
Of course.
But once you're tired of it, but you're still stuck in it.
And you can't stop.
Then it becomes hell.
Yeah. Or just the pressure to always be first.
Yes.
First with everything.
And in the age of social media too, where everything comes so fast.
Oh my God.
You can't ever turn the phone off. You can't ever.
I respect that. I respect, as much as I respect Andrew Luck stepping away from the game for his health. Sure. I respect Woj. You know what? I'm good. I got enough. Next.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
Woj is clearly, because of the job that he's taking, he's clearly not a guy wired to not work. Like Woj seems like somebody who always wants to be in the thick of it.
He's just jumping out of the fast line.
There's a different. Not all thicks are created equally, or as you said, with the same speed.
Yeah. Has he ever gotten it wrong? I don't remember
sure
Woj.
He has. Everybody's
I don't remember Woj
wrong.
blowing, some sort of news or he got this wrong. Didn't Shams blow it once?
I'm sure they both have.
Everybody has blown it.
Schefter's never blown it.
I'm sure
the Tom Brady one.
Schefter's never blown. Are you kidding? Schefter was just lied to. Come on.
Oh, okay.
Come on.
Already a job.
That's awesome. Congratulations, Woj. That was awesome. And next up, I guess it's Shams. We trust Shams, right? He's cool.
Yeah.
We met Shams before.
And I also think like the thing from Woj's piece is that time is not infinite. Like you only have so much of it on this earth, and so like you can't get back the years that you give away for jobs like the ones that he has.
That's
so
exactly what I feel when I leave a movie that's terrible. I can't get that back.
You met Shams the same way you met Eminem?
No. You didn't hear that story.
I actually did. I was
you did?
yesterday.
I was busy, man. I had my headphones on. I'm wearing Rams. He's wearing Detroit. We're enemies right now. I'll fawn over you later. Right now, it's just a short dude, a little guy in a Detroit jersey.
Well, I can tell you who's not a little guy.
Who?
Shohei Ohtani.
That's a big dude.
It's a big dude, and he is in pursuit of a big, big record and getting closer to it. That's next. Travis and DeMarco Show, 710 ESPN.
For ESPN LA contest rules, go to ESPNLA.com and click the contest.
Hey football fans, there is nothing sweeter than a cold glass of Stella Rosa and watching your team compete. But Stella Rosa wants to make it even sweeter and hook you up with the chance to win an experience to the biggest game of the college football season. You could win 2 tickets to the game, airfare, and a hotel for you and a friend. Head over to ESPNLADreamTicket.com to enter the Dream Ticket Sweepstakes presented by Stella Rosa, America's favorite semi-sweet, semi-sparkling wine. Please celebrate responsibly. Must be 21 or older to enter.
Let's get back to the fellas. The Travis and DeMarco show continues right now.
Hey, yeah. I know about that.
I know you know him.
Of course.
I know you met him.
I don't know him.
You don't know him.
I don't know him.
You met him.
I didn't even I called him. I said, what's up, M? Shoot, I've been calling him your name, Emily.
You can call him M. I'm sure he'll
Well,
respond to that.
It works perfectly.
If I knew him, I'd call him Marshall.
I was going to say, but it works either way.
M.
He could think,
I guess so.
He could think that you were calling him Eminem. He could think you were calling him Marshall.
Yeah.
Mathers.
Or the first initial of his first name.
Yeah.
Something. Yeah. Let's see. Him, Flea, Kiedis, Jay-Z, Tommy Lee. Coolest people I met, like in the front row of stadiums so far. I'm sure there's more. They'll pop in, but yeah.
Tommy Lee.
Did you see Taylor Lautner when you were in Detroit?
I did. He walked right past me.
Yeah, the wolf.
He walked right past me. Yes. I didn't get a chance to say what's up, but yeah, he walked right past me.
And he's little too, right?
He's a little tiny guy. Yeah.
Tyson?
I met him a long time ago. That was scary, bro. Woo, boy, that was scary. Yeah,
Mike Tyson?
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, you just got to make sure he's in a good mood. Yeah.
Was he?
No.
Yeah, he was in a good mood, but, I mean, you just never know. It's like, meeting a pit bull that you don't know.
When you met him, was this pre or post face tat?
Was it pre? I think it's pre-face. Nope, maybe it's post. 2001? I'm not sure when he got the face tat.
Because I remember the face tat was the moment where people started recognizing, okay, something is really going on here. Like Tyson's always been, a turbulent life. There's always been stuff happening with him.
He got it in 2003.
Okay, so yeah, it was before then.
The face tat moment, I think, struck a lot of people as like, okay, even in this process of kind of rehabilitating himself and kind of reingratiating himself to the public, there's still a lot going on with that guy.
We had 2 production meetings in one day on the Best Damn Sports Show. Usually we have one makeup show, boom. We had 2 because Tom Arnold wanted to ask me and John Sally in particular when we had Tyson coming on. If he snaps, are you going to help me? Right.
Well, because you have to
because Tom's got to do the Tom thing. He's going to mess with Mike. So if Mike gets mad, are you guys going to jump in?
Because that's going to affect, okay, how far do I potentially push this?
And that's what he said. So that was the first time I actually saw the real Tom Arnold. Like, this is the real guy talking. Like, I need to know what I could say, because if I have you guys backing me up, then I'll go at him. But if it's just me and him, then I'm going to be like as G-rated as possible.
And your response was?
You're on your own. Yeah. You make Mike mad. That's you.
Particularly if you're pushing his buttons.
That was the show, though.
Right.
Yeah, that was the show. So what did Tom wind up doing? He told jokes about us and had Mike laugh at us. That's the smart thing to do. Yes.
It's a safe thing to do.
Smart, yes, no doubt.
All right, so the Dodgers last night lose to the Marlins in Miami, 11-9. Bobby Miller. Not that there was much doubt before, but I think it's pretty much solidified. He is not going to be in the rotation in the postseason. I think there's a very good chance he is not even going to be on the roster in the postseason. 2 innings pitched, 4 earned runs, given up 7 hits. As he noted, I have to figure sort of self-deprecating. At least I didn't give up any homers.
He kept it in the yard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
progress, not perfection, except
and
you needed it. Yeah.
Look, right now the state of the pitching staff, Bobby Miller gave up 4 runs in 2 innings. He didn't even get the loss in this game. That was Michael Grove.
What's his ERA now? Is it 9?
8.52.
8.52. That's not good.
Got the I believe he has the highest ERA in the majors of anybody who's pitched a certain amount of innings.
Emily, correct me. You want those numbers to be low, right?
Yes, you want them to be closer to 0 than they are to 100.
Yeah. Okay. So he's close to.
Yeah. I mean, he is. We're still figuring out exactly who is going to be on the staff come postseason.
You know what shocked me? Didn't he start out great, Bobby Miller? I think he struck.
Last season.
He struck out 11 in his first start this year.
Let me look this up.
I think check me if I'm right or wrong, but I think he started out good and it just went downhill from there.
And even
you are correct.
Yes.
Wow.
March 29th against the Cardinals, 6 innings.
That's why it's the Cardinals.
Shutout baseball, 6 innings, 11 strikeouts.
So imagine that day.
2 hits.
Until yesterday. You go from that to off the
well,
roster.
Okay, to put this in perspective, granted small sample size in March, but in March, 1 start, ERA is 0. By the end of... Granted, small sample size because he got hurt early in April, but After 2 starts in April, his ERA is up to 11-12.
Oh, my God. That's why they invented bars.
And I mean, we saw what happened to him in the postseason, too, last year. Where, the game was over in the first inning when he let, I don't know, what it was, like 7 runs in?
Yeah.
Something ridiculous, 6 runs in. So we know what Bobby Miller is in the playoffs, and we also knew what he was this regular season. So thank you, Bobby, for chewing up some innings, but...
Thank you. I don't have a dog in the fight here. I'm not a Bobby Miller fan, so to speak, but I was hoping for the Dodgers' sake that you'd catch lightning in a bottle with somebody, because now you go back to the same question we've been asking for about the past month. What is your postseason rotation right now? I know you got 2. I guess you're going to have to count on Walker Buehler.
If Walker Buehler...
See? There's the breath again.
I feel like if Walker Buehler is your 3rd guy, maybe your 4th, but even your
Flaherty,
3rd...
Yamamoto,
and
Buehler.
Walker Buehler, yes.
If you have to put Walker Buehler out there now as your 3rd guy, if he does what he's been doing of late, which is like 5-ish innings, 2 to 3 runs, you can live with that. Like, that is probably on the level or adjacent to the level of most guys, most teams' 3rd or 4th starter.
Yeah, you got to slug your way to win an 3rd game, which they scored 9 runs yesterday. So, and you expect to win almost every time that happens.
But the Marlins scored 11. The Marlins.
You get Gavin Stone back, maybe. Like, you just...
Gonsolin, too.
Did you get beat by the Marlins?
You did get beat by the Marlins.
I'm sorry. I'm just being my uncle. Go ahead.
You got beat by the damn Marlins.
I have my uncle he just could not hold his tongue. You got beat by the Marlins? Ain't they the worst team in the league? Y'all stink.
Good talk.
In front of all my teammates. Y'all stink. Yeah.
Gonsolin's doing his starts in AAA, and they're going to evaluate that. There will be a quote-unquote conversation as it comes. If he does well, there'll be a conversation if he is going to be on the roster come playoff season. But, that's also a huge question mark. Do you want to put this guy in kind of his first time seeing major league pitchers this season?
What choice do you have? What choice do you have at this point?
You don't have choices.
That's the thing.
Right now, this is the biggest problem for the Dodgers. Like, you look at the way things looked at the beginning of the season with the roster so stacked, and it's like, oh my God, how do you narrow it all down? Yeah. Like, there's going to be somebody left off the postseason roster, somebody's.
Yeah.
They're going to be upset about this. They're going to feel like they have the right to be on the roster. Now, they're just trying to find enough guys who you feel semi-comfortable with.
You're going to have to slug your way to a World Series.
Speaking of slugging,
yeah,
one guy that will help them with that, Shohei Ohtani. Pushing records, maybe even
hitting home runs, striking out.
I was going to say maybe even hitting the mound. Travis and Sliwa, that's coming up next.
I am not Sliwa.
Travis and DeMarco.
What is wrong with you?
Travis and DeMarco coming up next, 710 ESPN.
You never have to miss a moment of LA's mega sports station. Get the all-new ESPN.
Tradespeople, maintenance, and facilities pros. DeWalt is hooking up you and a teammate with 2 tickets to the Rams home opener versus the San Francisco 49ers on Sunday the 22nd, plus a new DeWalt Tough System 2.0 DXL workstation. Just snap a pic of you and your team working hard on the job site and post it on @ESPN Los Angeles Facebook and Instagram with hashtag #MyDeWaltToughTeam. One lucky fan will score 2 tickets to the Rams vs 49ers and a new DeWalt Tough System 2.0 DXL workstation. Visit ESPNLA.com for details.
Hey football fans, there is nothing sweeter than a cold glass of Stella Rosa and watching your team compete. But Stella Rosa wants to make it even sweeter and hook you up with the chance to win an experience to the biggest game of the college football season. You could win 2 tickets to the game, airfare, and a hotel for you and a friend. Head over to ESPNLADreamTicket.com to enter the Dream Ticket Sweepstakes presented by Stella Rosa, America's favorite semi-sweet, semi-sparkling wine. Please celebrate responsibly. Must be 21 or older to enter.
Or free. Don't forget that ZipRecruiter.com/LA. Finally, that's ZipRecruiter.com/LA.
Hey guys, it's producer Lindsay. Listen up, sports fans. Gear up for your next game day hang with your friends. What's on the menu? Sliders, wings, chips, and salsa? Well, all your favorite game day foods go great with Stella Rosa wines, a semi-sweet and semi-sparkling wine that must be served chilled. Stella Rosa can be found at your local retailer, so remember to grab a couple bottles next time you shop. Nothing sweeter than a cold glass of Stella Rosa and watching your team compete. Please celebrate responsibly.
Progressive presents Renter's MVP's Most Valuable Possessions. Today's MVP, Emily Neal's 70-inch TV. Because after watching her second-grade students yell at each other for hours, there's nothing Emily enjoys more than watching super rich housewives also yell at each other. Why? Because those women are not her responsibility. And that's why her TV is today's MVP. Keep your most valuable possessions protected by bundling your renters and auto insurance with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
With NFL Sunday Ticket and YouTube TV, you can watch every game, every Sunday, all in one place. Which means you can watch the Dolphins, and the Broncos, and the Lions, and the Cowboys, and the Jets. Or whoever you're rooting for, all in your living room. But not literally, of course. That would be dangerous. Watch every game, every Sunday with NFL Sunday Ticket and YouTube TV. Sign up at youtube.com/NFLST. Local and national games on YouTube TV. NFL Sunday Ticket for out-of-market games excludes digital-only games.
This is the Travis and DeMarco Show.
Now weekdays 9 a.m. to noon on LA's mega sports station.
710 ESPN.
Hallucinate when you call my name.
So today is the last day to enter to win Rams-Niners tickets. Calling all tradespeople, maintenance, and facility pros. 710 and DeWalt are hooking your team up with tickets to the Rams home opener on Sunday, plus a new DeWalt Tough System 2.0 DXL workstation. To enter, post a pic of you and your team hard at work on the job site at the ESPN Los Angeles Facebook or IG with the hashtag MyDeWaltToughTeam. Visit ESPNLA.com for details on how to enter the sweepstakes and the sweepstakes rule. I'm glad this is the last day of this contest.
Why?
Because that read is a problem.
What do you mean it's a problem? What are you talking about?
That read is
not so bad.
Problem.
What song was that? Was that Dua Lipa?
Yeah. It was, yes.
Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah. She took a shot at Taylor Swift.
Hallucinate. That's what it's called.
When?
I just saw it on the. Is it X or Twitter? What are we calling it?
Whatever.
Twitter.
We call it
Twitter. Yeah.
I'm from the old
what'd
school.
she say?
Saw it on Twitter. Somebody asked her like, how come you don't put your personal life into your songs? And she said, I just, I want people to like my music because they like my music, not because it's part of my personal life.
Dua Lipa puts her personal life into all
Does
of her
she
music
really?
as well.
Oh,
they all write about love and stuff. They're all writing about their personal life.
I kind of like the poppy stuff. Yeah.
I think the difference is in the case of Taylor Swift, people spend more time speculating who she's talking about. And look, she plays into that too. She knows people are going to do it. Like you truly date Taylor Swift at your own peril. Yeah. Because if it goes sideways, you're going to become a star.
Or if it goes good.
But that's the same thing with writing about any musician.
Yeah.
If you date any musician, you're going to be a fodder for their music
But
eventually.
not in the same way as Taylor Swift, though.
It is.
Taylor, no.
How old is Dua Lipa? How old is she?
She's got to be 28, maybe.
Okay. Just want to make sure. Hold on.
Something like that.
Just want to make sure.
So Dua Lipa she's 29.
Okay.
But she's dating Callum Turner. And I know that she's dating Callum Turner because it's all over my Twitter feed. And
Who's
she says, so Dua Lipa said this. She said that people who use their private life to attract attention and music, but it also doesn't necessarily mean it's about Taylor Swift. One.
That they speculated. Yeah.
Speculated. Two. She does put out there publicly that she's dating Callum Turner, and she is
but not in
everywhere.
the songs, though.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's because you don't know who she's dating doesn't mean that it's not.
You're my
right, but here's the
starlight.
difference.
Okay.
Like that dude from, what do they call the 1975s or whatever?
Matty Healy, yeah.
I had no idea who he was either, but the amount of speculation because he was with Taylor led me to learn who he is. I still don't know who this Callum Turner fella is.
But is it, and he's an actor, but is it because she's doing it, or is it because everyone around her is doing it?
I think it's both. I think everyone around Taylor Swift does it, but Taylor Swift plays into it. And I don't mean that as a criticism of her. I'm just saying This is part of a game.
Taylor Swift is
that
a landmine.
she is actively playing.
You say her
as
name,
well.
and it winds up into an hour conversation.
She's playing this game.
But I am saying too, every musician writes about their life,
Yes.
their
That is
struggles,
true.
their relationship.
That is
so
true.
To take hers out of context and say that she's the only person that does that is false.
Jorge, I'm so sorry I brought that up.
No, it's,
Anyway.
it's content, homie.
I'm
It's
so
cool.
sorry I brought
I'm
that
good.
up. I am. I'm so sorry
We're
I
having
brought
a
that
conversation.
up.
It's
To
cool.
everybody that's
And
throwing up in their car, I am so sorry I brought that up.
In weeks.
No,
People
I
think,
did.
Oh, I can't talk about Taylor Swift. I haven't brought her up.
I
probably
did.
Weeks,
I am
months.
so sorry. That's a fine. I'll pay it.
The Taylor Swift a quarter, like the swear jar, the Taylor Swift jar.
Yes. Yeah. I'll put $1 in. My bad. I'm sorry. I'll do 10 push-ups.
Are we allowed to talk about Shohei Ohtani?
Are we allowed to talk about how Dua Lipa's album
See?
flopped too?
I tried to take this out of it. I tried.
Just saying.
But now,
It's a landmine.
now-
See? Boom.
Lipa,
Okay.
7'10".
You're like, I am going to vicariously give Taylor Swift the last word on this.
Okay. Shohei. What do you got for Shohei?
All right, so he...
Mr. 48-48.
I was going to say he was the highlight of last night's debacle in Miami. The Dodgers lose 11-9, but Ohtani
To the
hits
Marlins.
hits another home run.
You lost to the Marlins.
He's now sitting on 48
Yeah.
home runs, 48 steals, inching closer to the 50-50 club.
Did one dinger and 3 strikeouts?
I
think so.
He was 1 of 5.
Yeah.
1 of 5.
I mean, he got the dinger. That's fun. I mean, we're looking for history. Every home run that he hits is history now.
Yes.
But aren't you worried about him a little bit?
Well, that's interesting you bring that up.
He's kind of ruggling.
Well,
yeah.
Ruggling.
Yeah, ruggling.
Ruggling.
Yeah.
Never heard that
We
word.
say lumble instead of fumble, ruggling instead of struggling.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
Dave Roberts, after the game, said that the 50-50 milestone is, quote, front of mind for Ohtani, even though he didn't say that he thinks it's necessarily adding pressure.
Yeah.
It's definitely something that Ohtani is thinking about. He's noticed Ohtani pulling pitches more than just trying to put him into the gaps, looking for singles. And he said, quote, he cares, he being Ohtani. I think he wants to be the best player that's ever played this game, and one way to do that is to do something no one else has done, which he has already done, but you also like round numbers. I think there's an element of this.
50 is a round number?
50 is a round number.
48 is not a round number?
Nope. No. 5 and 0, like those type of round numbers.
But 48 is a round number.
Yes.
Okay, so somebody else said that. I'm like, wait, 48 isn't a round number?
Yeah. Okay. For the purposes of basic
50-50
math.
is sexy.
Right. For the purposes of basic math, 48 is a round number.
Right, Emily, 48 is a round number, correct? You can divide it by 2.
Yes. No, you are correct. DeMarco. You flunked P, but you passed math.
I'm
we
just
get
asking a question here.
You got base 10.
But for records and milestones,
50-50
5s
sounds better.
and 0s are considered round numbers for milestones.
Okay, so outside of basketball, and I'm going to be gentle for a hot minute, a guy could pad his stats for points and rebounds, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't factor into a win or a loss.
I mean, it can.
But
the points that you score lead to a win.
Usually, right?
They can.
And some guys, some guys could score 35 and your team still loses.
Yeah.
Okay, but if a guy is in playing baseball and he goes 50-50, guaranteed he's helping you.
Here's the
guaranteed his production is helping the team win.
Well, this is where I think with Ohtani, are you asking basically like, is his pursuit of this hurting the team?
Yeah, because I keep hearing this like he's only concerned with 50-50. Well, if you have a 50-50 player on your team, that's good. You would want that because that will help you win, right?
Well, look, Ohtani is likely going to be MVP of the National League. Very rarely is a guy that is MVP not helping your
That's
team.
what I'm saying. 50-50 is not cheap.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, like, what Roberts...
48 is not cheap.
Right.
Yes.
What Roberts was talking about is he could tell that at times Ohtani seems to be looking for a home run, where if the 50-50 thing was not a possibility, he might, for lack of a better way of putting it, settle for a hit. Like, he is specifically looking for home runs.
With the 50-50, you also have to get on base to steal.
Right.
And so you have to look for home runs and for hits. So
it's helping. Yeah.
Both these things could help.
That's what
but
I'm saying.
Like when you're thinking about what's happening rather than just playing the game.
It's affecting his strategy.
Yeah.
There's an element of affecting his strategy. Like, I thought Robert said something interesting, too, where he thought that Ohtani was looking to just get this over with. Because, like, once you start getting so close to it and you can taste it, the attention builds up. You get asked about it. Your teammates get asked about it. Dave Roberts gets asked about it. There comes a point where you just want to get the thing done, and then you can get back to business as usual. Like, it reminds me a little bit of the LeBron-Bronny thing, and when will they play together? My guess, purely a guess, but if I were in charge of things, it's how I would do it.
Week 1, get it out of the way.
Get it out of the way as quick as you can, like in a moment that won't hurt a game. Give LeBron and Bronny a few minutes. Hopefully they hook up for some type of basket. They get that moment. It'll mean a lot to them. Basketball history.
Yeah.
Then you let Bronny go back to the G League, which will ultimately help him more. And you play basketball as you normally would, which would help the Lakers more.
Yeah. Is the 50-50 top of mind for you? Like, do you wake up and go to sleep thinking about it?
No.
Do you, Emily?
Every Dodger game, I will check and see if Ohtani had a home run or a steal. Like, so I
am watching
paying
for it.
attention.
Are you living and dying by a 50-50? Because
I don't live and die by stats in general, but I am excited to see this.
Yeah,
I would
me
like
too.
to be at this game, and I'm looking forward to it happening. So I am paying attention, but I also don't live and die by any sports, really.
I'm trying to think the last time I was on the edge of my seat for a sports stat.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
If you want to keep this in
I got
baseball.
my tattoo ready to go, 50-50.
You got a 50-50 tattoo?
For sure, my whole back.
I don't believe
Nice.
you one bit.
What about last year when you were waiting for Puka Nacua to get the receiving yards, the rookie receiving yards, receiving touchdowns?
That might have been. Was I on the edge of my seat for that?
It was the last game we get to you, and they pulled him right after it happened.
That's weird for me. I mean, that's over the course of winning, I guess. I don't know.
Well,
I'm trying to think. I mean, LeBron, did he do something that was...
points.
The points.
All-time.
Was I on the edge of my seat for that?
I was not, because that felt so inevitable. It's like, as long as LeBron does not get injured.
That's what Ohtani's 50-50 feels like. It's inevitable.
It is inevitable.
Yeah. So you're getting over what? He's going to do it.
It's something that has never been done before.
The last time he got to 40-40, he hit it on a freaking
That
walk-off
was awesome.
grand slam.
Yeah, that was awesome.
I think what also...
Oh, I know what it was. It was Barry Bonds.
Yeah,
That's what it was.
I was thinking
Yes.
Bonds or Maguire Sosa.
That was it. Yes.
But I think also with Ohtani in particular, that makes this so incredible to see, beyond just the idea of 50-50, it's a guy with that type of power and that type of speed.
Yeah.
Like the ability to run the bases and generate that type of power. Like someone like Barry Bonds, who was both fast and strong.
Yeah.
Never came close to doing something
That's
like this.
crazy.
And,
Right.
and
Wow.
Bonds he's on the short list of best players ever.
Best hitter I ever saw.
Yeah, I mean, but great player. Like
Yeah.
Barry Bonds, particularly like in Pittsburgh when he was younger, a little slimmer, he was an incredible outfielder. Like
Yeah.
Barry Bonds is one of the best players ever.
I agree.
And he was like a 5-tool, all the different things you'd want from an athlete, and he still never did anything
Except
like this.
he was a jerk. That's
Well-
that's the downside
Hey,
of being that good.
you don't get 2 Barca loungers
Yeah.
in your clubhouse by being a nice
That's
guy.
the downside. And baseball jerks are the worst. Oh my God. Oh, see, look, you know.
Well,
Oh
look,
my
man,
God,
I covered
they're the
Jeff
worst.
Kent for 3 years.
Oh my God, they're the worst.
That,
oh my God.
That dude, like, basically kept an entire black cloud of mood over an entire clubhouse
Yes.
because he wanted to be left alone.
I'm like, do they teach you guys to be this jerkish?
Well,
in
remember,
spring
they were
training?
on the same team together.
Yes, I know. 2 guys that you couldn't really talk to.
That
during
must have been a fun clubhouse to cover.
But if this pursuit of a record or something we haven't seen, I call it landing on the moon, 50-50. If this is really affecting Ohtani's strategy, if you're going for this instead of what will help you and help the Dodgers
It's good to
win,
get it out of the way.
Get it out of the way. Then that's an issue. Then I don't want you to get it. If your only goal is to do that, I don't want you
here's
to
the
get
thing,
it.
though.
You don't need it.
Ohtani may end up landing on this by accident anyway because
Yeah.
he's so damn good. But the other thing, too, though, and this is part of why I think it's front of mind for Ohtani, this is the season to make it happen because next year, if he goes back to pitching full-time,
Yeah.
he's not going to be stealing bases like this. You
don't think so?
No.
No?
You have to preserve your energy. And you're not going to be, hopefully, pitching 5-6 innings minimum per start.
How much are you paying him?
$70 million.
I want everything you got. I paid for your entire body.
I would say hitting home runs and being a starting pitcher, that's pretty much everything.
Well, I want some stolen bags too. I want everything. $700 million. I want everything.
Think how much DeMarco would ask for if that money wasn't deferred?
I'm just saying. I want everything. $700 million. I should get everything you got.
All right.
If you can do it, I want to see it.
Coming up, more thoughts like these. The Far Side is next. Travis and DeMarco show.
Thank you.
710 ESPN.
The new fall.
Hey football fans, there is nothing sweeter than a cold glass of Stella Rosa and watching your team compete. But Stella Rosa wants to make it even sweeter and hook you up with the chance to win an experience to the biggest game of the college football season. You could win 2 tickets to the game, airfare, and a hotel for you and a friend. Head over to ESPNLADreamTicket.com to enter the Dream Ticket Sweepstakes presented by Stella Rosa, America's favorite semi-sweet, semi-sparkling wine. Please celebrate responsibly. Must be 21 or older to enter.
Calling all tradespeople, maintenance, and facilities pros. DeWalt is hooking up you and a teammate with 2 tickets to the Rams home opener versus the San Francisco 49ers on Sunday the 22nd, plus a new DeWalt Tough System 2.0 DXL workstation. Just snap a pic of you and your team working hard on the job site and post it on @ESPN Los Angeles Facebook and Instagram with hashtag #MyDeWaltToughTeam. One lucky fan will score 2 tickets to the Rams vs 49ers and a new DeWalt Tough System 2.0 DXL workstation. Visit ESPNLA.com for details.
Monster Energy is here to give you the edge this college tailgate season. Loaded with bold flavors, our powerful blend gives you the energy you need to push you beyond your limits. Tune in all season long with Monster, the energy drink of ESPN Radio College Football Tour. Power your performance with a drink that's as hungry for victory as you are. Crack open an ice-cold Monster and dominate your competition. Monster Energy. Unleash the beast. Grab yours today. And yes, welcome to the Travis and DeMarco Show. Now mornings, 9 a.m. to noon on 710 ESPN, your destination for LA sports. Let's get back to the fellas. The Travis and DeMarco Show continues right now.
You unlock this door with a key of imagination. Beyond it is another dimension. A dimension of sound, a dimension of sight, a dimension of mind. You're moving into the land of shadow and substance, of things and ideas you've crossed over into the far side.
I'm in the far side.
You're in the far
Let's
side.
Go.
It is the middle ground between light and shadow.
Do you know what helped?
4 or 5 hour ride.
I jumped in the ocean. It helped.
Between science and superstition.
I gotta feel quick. I gotta feel quick. I gotta feel fast. I want to feel naked out there.
And it lies between the pit of man's fears and the summit of his knowledge. The far side.
You forgot to mention damaged and, use my head a lot. Yeah. It's a little dented. Been some places.
No, look, man.
Been
this,
everywhere.
This station is trying
White
to
flashes.
Yeah, white flashes. See, either I've had no concussions or a lot of them.
This station is trying to milk every last bit of coherence
Yes.
that you still have
Good.
before you're useless.
Just like Ohtani. If you can steal bases, I want it all. And you're going to get it all from me as well. I don't want to throw Greg under the bus, but I'm going to anyway.
You go on.
Greg has this thing where he, criticizes people, right? Didn't he jump all over Matt Ryan yesterday?
Yeah, he jumped over a lot of people.
You said Matt Ryan, he's terrible. Then we were talking about UCLA. And he said, "Oh, that quarterback is terrible." And I'm like, that kid's like 18, 19 years old, right? That just kind of just rubbed me the wrong way. So Deion Sanders, our favorite college football coach, had the same take I had. He was going against the media again, and he called out the media and saying, "You guys are envious and jealous. Reporters are. You're attacking the players now because they're making more money than you are." And I think some of that might be true. I think because of NIL and the way college football has become basically amateurs or junior pros, they're getting paid now, that you can bring that same criticism you would for Matthew Stafford, a pro, into the college realm for a college freshman or a sophomore that's trying to figure it out, calling him terrible. Some people have gone as far as to send these kids death threats because you have lost bets.
I mean,
on
that
their
was
football
happening
team.
well before NIL. That stuff exists.
But it's starting to ramp up, and they're starting to show you what the abuse that they're getting from people now. And these kids are like 2 years removed from high school, 2 years removed from their parents' houses. They're still learning about themselves and how to play this game. So I get it. It's fun. Everybody likes college football. Everybody likes to, it seems like, bet on college football. It's all fun.
I mean, again, that's been happening for quite.
I'm just saying, but save the criticism for the pros. Save the criticism for the adults. The hardline criticism. If you want to say a kid didn't play well, say he didn't play well. But to call him names or say he's terrible or he's an idiot and all that type of stuff, no. This is different.
Okay,
this is a student.
Here's where I would say Deion has a point. Here's where I would say Deion's wrong. The idea that media is being critical because they're jealous that these guys are now making money, that may, I suppose, exist for some members of media. Like, there's a lot of people in what is broadly the media, but there were plenty.
That's a good point.
There were plenty of media columnists actually saying these guys should be paid. Like, there are plenty of media calling
Big
for
time.
these guys to get
but
paid.
It seems like, and I sat and listened to people talk about Caleb Williams, and they talked about how much money he made at USC, and well, if he's making that much money, then he's open to criticism but he's not a pro. He's still a college kid.
Here's where I would say you're right, and these other people are right to a point.
There's good people on both sides?
No, I'm not both sides.
Oh, I'm sorry. Anyway, go ahead.
I'm not both sides.
Let me stop you right there. Anyway, go ahead. Let's just hold the phone. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Once you start making more money or start making money doing this, like sizable checks doing this, there is by definition more added responsibility onto you. Like, you have more of a responsibility because you're actually getting paid to do something. That being said, though, where you are in your progress as a quarterback or an athlete is where you are. You don't automatically become better than you should be or more seasoned than you should be just because you got paid.
Correct.
So they are now closer to professionals in the sense that they are making money. They have a certain amount of agency that they didn't have before. They have a certain amount of power that they didn't have before. But they are still where they are on their timeline of progress as they would have been unpaid. And I think media people need to be conscious of the idea that getting paid doesn't make you better than you are.
Yes.
But there is an added responsibility because if you don't want that responsibility, you can always turn the money down.
You're in the far side. See? The water's warm over here. Yeah. Same with Emily. You're a movie person, right? So you've seen your fair share of child actors.
Yes.
And child actors can be amazing, and sometimes they act like children.
And sometimes they are not seasoned enough to be
talented enough. Would you criticize a child actor or actress the same way you would criticize Meryl Streep or any famous actor for having a stinker of a movie?
Are they 7 or are they 18? Like, I don't know.
It's almost the same.
If they have 8 years of experience in the industry.
If you're in college now, chances are you've probably had 5 or 6 years of football in your life to this point. So you're still a newbie to the game.
Right.
You're just playing big-time college football, but you're still new.
But to your point, I don't criticize the child that is put into this role. I criticize the casting for maybe not getting the right child for that role.
That's better.
Or the director for not getting the best performance out of this child. I don't blame the child.
So that's exactly the point Dion is trying to make, and I'm trying to make. If you want to criticize a college football team, go for it. But go after the coach.
Well, unless it's Colorado, Dion doesn't like that.
But isn't that what Gundy said? Come after me. I'm a man. I'm 40. So this is not new. But it seems like with the advent and the rise of NIL, you think you can say what you want to a bunch of 18, 19, barely 20-year-olds like you would a 35-year-old veteran.
I think it's fans, too, that are doing most of this, like, name-calling.
Oh, yeah. I'm not just talking media. Everybody. Fans, too. I'm sorry.
Look,
Thank you.
Fans, we were talking before about, like, agency and responsibility. Like, if you're in media, there's a certain amount of professionalism expected from you because this is your job. If you're a fan, there's nothing expected of you.
Yeah.
Like, you have no responsibilities, and unfortunately, that means if you want to be an a-hole, you're allowed. And there's really no standard to uphold.
If that were my daughter, I'll just be, and you have a daughter too that's how old?
13.
And your daughter is?
6.
Okay, so your daughter's in school trying her best, and she fails. She misses. They lose. And some idiot on the internet says, go jump off a bridge, or you're stupid, or you can't play. If that were my daughter, I would find you. I would.
Oh, look,
I would.
I'm not defending the fan behavior or saying that they have no accountability because they're just fans. Like, there's a certain baseline of humanity that you should try to uphold.
Yes.
I'm just saying, as a fan,
and you don't just because you're getting paid doesn't mean you trade in your humanity.
I think you should always maintain perspective. Like,
yes.
Yeah, Caleb Williams was getting paid at USC. He was still just, 20? Like, he's a 20-year-old in the grand scheme of things, very inexperienced, and also working on a team not giving him enough help. like there's only so much. I mean,
there's only so much you can help him.
I don't think there was really any more that could have been expected from Caleb Williams than what he brought, given what he was working with.
Is Greg still in his office? Can you see him in there? Is he mad? Because he started this. Yeah.
The idea, though, is like, anybody criticizing, like, just the idea of a person's humanity is not acceptable. No matter if you're a football player, if you're a reporter, questioning someone's humanity is not
There's also, too, the question of, like, why are you doing this and how are you doing this?
Yes.
Like, are you doing it just to take shots because you can, because you're on Twitter and nobody can track you down?
There's a quarterback.
Yes.
The quarterback for Auburn said after they lost to Cal, they had people requesting from them money on Venmo over and over again. It's a joke for these people. Hey, I lost money betting on you, so please give me the money back that I lost. And yes, it's not the most harmful thing to do to this Auburn quarterback, but it's also just get a life.
Thank you.
Just accept that your responsibility of putting money on somebody does not go on that person's performance. It goes on you for putting your money on.
Keep attacking these
kids. Be a better.
What happens. Yes, it's funny.
Be a better.
Be a better.
Be a better.
That sounds like a slogan.
If any of the various gambling sites out there are listening, you're welcome. You can have this one for free.
Love it. Okay.
All right, coming up, little rumor involving a quarterback and your Los Angeles Rams. That's next. Travis and DeMarco Show, 710 ESPN.
Steve Mason and John Ireland.
Calling all tradespeople, maintenance, and facilities pros. DeWalt is hooking up you and a teammate with 2 tickets to the Rams home opener versus the San Francisco 49ers on Sunday the 22nd, plus a new DeWalt Tough System 2.0 DXL workstation. Just snap a pic of you and your team working hard on the job site and post it on @ESPN Los Angeles Facebook and Instagram with hashtag #MyDeWaltToughTeam. One lucky fan will score 2 tickets to the Rams versus 49ers and a new DeWalt Tough System 2.0 DXL workstation. Visit ESPNLA.com for details. presence of King Carlos Vela.
Carlos Vela, welcome back!
Only 7 games remain in the regular season, and at this point, every match has massive playoff seeding implications.
We will need the whole roster. We will need every single player on the team, and now it's crunch time, and now we have to show off.
LAFC hosts Austin FC. Pregame begins tonight at 7 p.m. on 710 ESPN and the ESPN LA app.
Hi, it's LeBron. The Lakers play here.
710 ESPN.
KSPN, Los Angeles.
A good karma brands radio station.
This is the Travis and DeMarco Show.
Now weekdays 9 a.m. to noon on LA's mega sports station.
710 ESPN.
Rumor has it. Rumor has it.
What happened to her? Adele.
She was performing in Munich on a residency there for the past couple of months. She's now going to take a 5-year break. She says, I'm going to take a 5-year break from performing and writing and then come back to it. But now she's married to
Clutch.
I was going to say, rumor has it that she is settling down with Rich Paul.
Yeah, so she was
Clutch Sports, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Nice.
She did her Vegas residency, then she went to Munich, did a residency there, and then she's going to take a break, married Rich Paul.
Nice. Rolling in the Deep when that came out. Come on.
Dude, she's got
that
an
vocal.
amazing voice. Park, party, and play at Hollywood Park Casino, LA's premier card room. That does sound fun. Now open 24/7. Tune in all week this week to Travis and DeMarco to win the ultimate game day prize pack from Hollywood Park Casino that includes this Sunday's tailgate party passes at the casino and game day tickets at SoFi. Listen for your cue to call 877-710-ESPN. Don't miss your chance to win the ultimate game day prize pack. Hollywood Park Casino, park, party, and play. You must be 21 or older to enter. Before we get to this rumor, Chris in LA wanted to chime in our conversation.
Yeah, good morning, guys.
Good morning.
DeMarc, I think you're right. I think, this has always existed on the professional side where there may be some media members who are a little jealous. That's just par for the course. But I think what now we're dealing with NIL in the college realm is that you have college players who are getting $1 million, $2 million or more. And I think it removes that innocence of the student athlete. I think it makes fans and media think that now they can criticize this athlete because they're not performing well. And it doesn't make it right. It's like the old Chris Rock joke. I understand why he did it. I wouldn't have done it, but I understand why he did it. So, I understand why they're doing it. It's a shame that they're criticizing these athletes like that because they're still young. But I think NIL is a new frontier, and this is one of the aspects of it. Professional people get paid millions of dollars, and they get recognized in restaurants, and you kind of give up your privacy because that's par for the course. That goes with it. And I think this is what student athletes are going to realize is that if I take this endorsement money, which of course you will, then part of that is going to become people being more critical of me, and it just needs to be appropriate criticism. But I'm not surprised by this at all.
Thank you, Chris. I get that. Look, you know what happens and how this works. We're going to keep doing it because of NIL, and then something bad happens, and then we learn from it.
It's funny.
Because remember, these are just kids. These are just kids, student athletes.
It's funny you mentioned, too, the something bad will happen.
Yes.
What I also think is interesting about this stuff, people always say, you criticize these athletes, but then if you saw them in the street, you'd want their autograph and you try to buddy up with them. Of course. The other thing you got to remember, too, is, a lot of these athletes, you would not want to mess with them.
Make mad? Yeah,
You would not want to, I remember.
I've seen that, too. Members of the media that talk a great game in this room, and then when they see that same guy, they fold.
Oh, sure. And
then there's some people that keep the same energy, and you respect that.
And then there's fans too.
Eminem.
I remember
this Eminem thing. See, leave it alone. Okay, stop. Go ahead.
I think it was 2012 when Steve Blake was with the Lakers.
Yeah.
Series against Denver. He missed a bunch of very makeable shots, shots he should make in the playoffs. They end up losing that game. I think they lost the series. I don't remember, but he lost that game. And Steve Blake and his family, particularly his wife, because his wife, very nice, I've interacted with her on Twitter a bunch of times. She was very out on social media, very big on it. And they were getting death threats over these missed shots.
Yeah.
Which, in reacting to this, I'm like, okay, that's just way out of bounds, way out of line. Like, come on. Like, this is insane, the idea of death threats over missed.
It's a game.
It's a game. But also, too, you better hope you never run into Steve Blake and he figures out who you are, because Steve Blake will kick your ass.
You just threatened him.
Like, he was on the list, like, real list of, like, guys in the NBA.
I'm looking at him.
No, really.
Yeah.
He's little by NBA standards. He was known as the guy, like, he will fight anybody and not the hold me back. Like, no, really.
You can
he
cast
will
him.
fight you.
Yeah.
He will kick your ass.
That face, you could cast him in a slasher.
Yeah,
film,
like he's like
and
MMA
you believe
trained.
it.
Like
that opened up a whole new vein, though, because there are some people and their members, and let's just say their wives or husbands and brothers that are active on social media that invite that stuff. Well, if you get it, then that's if you're allowing that stuff to go out, then you should accept what comes back.
It's
go ahead.
It's like the brawl, like the Malice in the Palace.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, Ron Artest can't go into the stands. Like, you can't have that. It's a safety issue for everybody involved, including the players themselves.
I was going to say, he did.
Right, no, but I'm saying you can't do that.
Yes.
That being said, if you throw a cup at Ron Artest, I have no sympathy for whatever happens to you.
Just hit the right
guy.
guy.
Like that guy that went out on the court that Jermaine O'Neal hit.
Oh, God, yeah.
Like, that guy is lucky Jermaine O'Neal slipped.
Do you remember when Bobby Wagner smashed that protester? Hey, you're out on the field.
Yeah, no.
His place of employment.
Once you start turning this into a situation where a player has to think about his own safety, bad move on your part.
And I got pads on.
You cross that invisible line that it separates the player from the fans. But I'm also saying, with or without NIL, this would be happening.
Yeah.
Because before they got paid,
happened.
this stuff happened. After they get paid, this stuff happens.
There's been an uptick. It's been weird now.
I don't think that it has. I think we just know about it because of social media. I think it's been around since NIL has been since before NIL was a thing. Now with NIL, people might use that as an excuse, saying, "Hey, you get paid so much," but the same actors would be doing the same thing.
But just in my orbit, it's picked up lately. Like the rhetoric against a bad college team, a bad college player. You sound like you're talking about the pros now. The way you're talking about this kid.
Well, I mean,
and that's just people in my own
It's
orbit.
a weird thing because...
They talk about Tim Tebow the same way, I'm sure.
Not in college.
Not in college? Are you sure?
He walked on water in college.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah, that's
on a bunch of different levels.
right.
But it's a weird thing because these guys now with NIL money and all this other stuff, they are professionals in the sense that they are getting paid now to do a job, which by definition means you are a professional. But you are I was going to say, but that money doesn't make you more seasoned or better than you actually are, or frankly should be.
You're a grown man. What can I say? 35. How about that? 35 is a good number, right?
Sure.
You should be married, divorced, couple kids by now. It is around. It's not a round number. 35-year-old man,
milestone number.
40-year-old man, or worse, at 55 plus, yelling at an 18-year-old kid.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
No, I mean, that's it. That's just get some perspective.
Yeah.
Get
a grip.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Touch some grass.
Thank
you. That's all I
you.
ask. Go touch some grass.
Yes.
And if you wouldn't say it to someone's face, don't say it at all. Even if you want to say it to someone's face, maybe don't say it at all.
Did you see how fast Greg ran in here? Greg didn't call the guy an idiot. He didn't call the UCLA quarterback an idiot. I was just using him as an example.
But we did get into kind of a disagreement, I guess, not disagreement this morning in our meeting when you brought up potentially...
Who?
A line of me and you, because you brought up somebody, and I was like,
rumor.
"Oh no!"
There's a rumor involving the Rams and a certain quarterback that you heard.
Oh, yeah, it's a tiny rumor, and it was not started here. Just to make clear.
No, of course not.
DeMarco did not start this rumor.
No, I did not start it.
I'm just saying we talked about it in our meeting.
It did not emanate from anything touching the LA Rams.
Nope.
What? Big
emanate.
word?
Very big
Are you
word.
shocked that I could use emanate?
I don't even know what that word means.
Really?
No.
Coming from, springing forth?
Oh.
Yes.
Emanating from.
Yes. Pac-10
Okay.
Yes.
Emanating.
So I said I would not be shocked if, like, the Rams had interest in trading for Bryce Young if he was available. And everybody laughed. Well, Emily laughed.
I did, because...
Emily both laughed, she scoffed, she cried.
I was just
there was a lot going on.
myself with the idea of the Rams. Again, that doesn't mean that they're going to start Bryce Young or that he would be over Matthew Stafford at all. No, that's not.
Good.
Saying.
Yeah,
what you're saying.
That's what you thought I meant?
No.
Oh,
I'm just saying.
The idea,
why
by the
would
way,
you trade for Bryce Young when he sucks?
Well, the idea too being if this turned into a lost season and you started thinking about life after Stafford more quickly than we might have at the beginning of the season, what are the type of things you could do? Trade for Bryce Young.
I just trade for a former first pick in the draft, like you did with Wentz, and you put him under McVay's tutelage. I mean, not to start right away anytime this year. I'm just saying, like, you put a guy like that with McVay, let's see what he's got. Because clearly, I think for all the criticism that Bryce Young is getting, and you can criticize Bryce Young because he's a pro. You can call him bad. You can say that. He is a pro.
He's won like 2 games?
He signed a contract, right. But for as much as you want to criticize him, you should criticize them. It takes a lot to make these quarterbacks go. And it's not fair. Even Tom Brady said it's not fair to draft these kids and put them on the field immediately and expect them to be good. And then not give them any support whatsoever to be bad on top of all that. I mean, it's not – I don't think it's all Bryce Young.
I don't think it's all Bryce Young, but I do have to say, when I've watched him play, even acknowledging
and I know why. You said because he's short. That's what you said.
Okay.
You said because he's short.
He is short.
And what was my response?
You said, "Oh, that's so outdated."
No,
and that's so,
I said, "Did you see who just kicked the Rams' butt this past weekend? He's 5'7".
Yes, and you can list Kyler Murray, you can list Drew Brees, you can list Russell Wilson, you can list 4
One
people
Baker
that are short.
Mayfield tearing up the NFL right now.
You said that. See,
They are the exceptions, not the rules. You have to be able to see over your linemen.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Lamar Jackson's not the tallest guy in the world.
And Bryce Young is not as mobile of a quarterback as Kyler Murray is, which means that you can come around the line and see around it.
See this guy behind me right here? This dude that's going to the Hall of Fame, the best defender in the world? There was some genius that said he was undersized for this level. So I'm just saying, this whole thing about being too short, too whatever, too slow, too whatever, it's passe now. If you can play or you can't.
And Bryce Young has shown us that he can't play.
No, and Carolina has shown us that they don't know what they're doing.
That's true.
Okay, this is the really interesting question because with Bryce Young, you are correct. Carolina is a badly run organization.
A disaster.
Although some would say one example of them being a badly run organization is drafting Bryce Young.
Well, let me start there for 1 second. So the entire room wanted C.J. Stroud.
Mm-hmm.
The owner said, I want Bryce Young.
That is true.
And he got Bryce Young.
That is
true. So no one in the room wanted the kid they have. So don't you think that contributes to how bad he looks?
Of course. Well, yes. I mean, but he also, I will say, he has not looked good to me when I've watched him beyond just, okay, he doesn't have a lot around him. He also just has not looked good. His decisions are often bad. He does not have the type of tools, it seems, to offset the lack of size.
But there's also a fire around him, and so when there's a fire around him, it's hard to see through it.
It's a mess. Yeah.
You need a tall fireman.
I do. With a hose.
Just one example.
A strapping man.
Carson Wentz was on the couch for a year. Came through here.
Yeah.
He practiced. He learned. Mm-hmm. Picked up the offense, got one start, and then had his pick of teams when he left. Went to Kansas City. I don't know why he would go to Kansas City to back up Mahomes. You're never going to play.
No.
But I'm
just
saying.
But the thing is, we've seen Carson Wentz be great. We haven't really seen Bryce Young be great in the NFL.
Philly did a better job with Carson Wentz than Carolina is doing with Bryce Young, and I think that's fair. And you could add a lot of
Philly's
teams to
a better
that.
run organization than Carolina.
Correct, and I think that also helped Carson Wentz. Remember how bad it was for Jared Goff when he started, and then how Sean McVay had to fix him, and make him better. Jared Goff doesn't get that $212 million contract without Sean McVay's influence.
Sure,
from here to Detroit. Does that make sense?
No, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, look.
So that's all I'm saying. If you give Sean McVay that sort of talent, I bet he can get more out of Bryce Young than what Carolina's doing. And that's my only point.
And there are examples of guys who go to different places and do better. There are examples of somebody like a Sam Darnold who has struggled in a lot of different places, but a lot of the places that he's played have been pretty dysfunctional organizations. You wonder if what's happening in Minnesota right now for Darnold, very small sample size.
Kevin O'Connell, good coach.
Well, what could Sam Darnold look like if he had actually been given structure and a game
if
plan.
he didn't go to the Jets first.
Right, and then Carolina.
I think you're seeing it. Yeah, I think you're seeing it now.
Because I will say, like, someone like Josh Rosen, because they were, I believe, in the same draft class, someone like Josh Rosen, I had rooted for because he seemed like an interesting guy, but I had questions about how good he was going to be.
Wait,
and they cut the bait on him quickly.
What was interesting about Josh Rosen?
When you heard him talk, I just thought he was an interesting guy. He was more outspoken, talked about unusual stuff. So I just found that interesting about him.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not saying he was like one of people's most
as
fascinating.
Interesting as a Ritz cracker, you know, right? With nothing on it. Here you go.
I mean,
Yeah.
I
liked his talent. The dude could play. I don't know what happened. I mean, it just seemed like it just short-circuited.
I was going to say the difference between someone like him and Darnold is when Darnold entered the league, I thought he was going to be really good.
Yeah.
Like Rosen, I was not as sure about, and then Rosen went to I believe it was Arizona in the beginning. Arizona is somebody who's rooted for the Cardinals a long time.
Yeah.
Another not particularly well-run organization.
Yeah, right.
I wondered with someone like Rosen, if he went to a different franchise, would he be better? The answer turned out to be no.
Right.
Someone like Darnold, his struggles really surprised me.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to be very good. Maybe now is what you could finally see if he had ever just started out in a place that's reasonably well run.
And the reason we were talking about this at all is because this season might not turn out to be as great as we want to for the Rams, and who knows how much time you have left with Matthew Stafford. Do you have to start thinking?
Yeah.
Do you have to start thinking about the life after Matthew Stafford? And does that start this next year?
I think so.
Not that he's not going to play
smart.
for them.
I think you have to be smart, and he knows it. He's 36. He's got more behind than in front. So all teams do. You'd be stupid not to think about the future beyond your 36-year-old quarterback.
Does that mean you draft somebody, or do you kind of try to pick someone that you can reclaim?
So that's a great question. Okay, would you rather have a rookie or a Bryce Young?
I would like a rookie if he can start behind Matthew Stafford until Matthew leaves.
okay,
If Matthew's going to be here for one more year after that.
For me, Bryce Young might be more attractive. He's got a little experience, and I don't have to start from zero.
Well,
with him.
okay, let me ask you this. If this ends up a lost season, because the possibility of a lost season
No,
is
we're beating San Fran. Where's Jorge? I see you. No, we're taxing.
Yeah,
Okay, so me and Andy can talk about a lost season.
Okay, let's just say you beat San Fran and go on to your 1-16 season.
We just beat San Fran, and we wind up going to the Super Bowl. But go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was both a lost season and a Super Bowl
Yes,
season.
at the same time.
We're going to play this thing out.
Dang right.
Okay.
Yes.
Would you rather have Shedeur Sanders or Bryce Young? The opportunity to draft Shedeur Sanders, or would you rather have Bryce Young?
Because again, you'd have to be high enough to get Shedeur.
That's
You
what
might
I'm
go
talking
1,
about.
2, 3,
Give me
4.
Bryce, because I'm not sure if I want that circus coming to town, because Deion's coming with him.
Yes,
and then
he is.
everything changes.
Yes, he
yeah,
is.
Come on.
But it's LA.
Okay.
It's a big market, and you can in Shedeur.
It's
with
already hard enough.
Sean
Okay,
McVay,
it's already
Would you
hard
rather
enough.
have Shedeur Sanders estranged from his father for whatever reason?
Oh my
Not
God.
to take it to a dark place, but I'm trying to make the point.
Would I rather have the first pick in the draft, a quarterback at number 1, or Bryce Young? It depends on who that number 1 guy is, but if it's even, then give me the guy that at least has started in the league.
What about the guy from Georgia, the Carson Beck?
Okay, so his talent,
Yeah.
undeniable. I would love to have that. And here's the downside of having a guy like Bryce Young. There may be some bad habits that are already knocked into him that you just can't coach out.
I mean, David Carr, that time
Got blasted.
That
Yeah.
time he spent in Houston destroyed him.
You know who survived and who went on to the Hall of Fame was Troy Aikman.
Yeah.
He got splattered worse than Carr
Yeah.
and made it through that.
Yes, he did.
That's what I'm saying. So
yes, he did.
If it's between that guy, a can't-miss prospect, and a Bryce Young, then give me the prospect, of course. Yeah. But if it's if you're picking 10th,
Yeah, if you're picking outside
your
of the
third
top
quarterback,
10,
yeah, and you got that, I'd rather have that. Yes.
All right, speaking of can't miss prospects, Caleb Williams has been regarded as one. It has been tough sledding for him in the NFL, and some people felt he had a bad look after the Bears' latest loss. We'll talk about that next. Travis and DeMarco Show, 710 ESPN.
You never have to miss a
Calling all tradespeople, maintenance, and facilities pros. DeWalt is hooking up you and a teammate with 2 tickets to the Rams home opener versus the San Francisco 49ers on Sunday the 22nd, plus a new DeWalt Tough System 2.0 DXL workstation. Just snap a pic of you and your team working hard on the job site and post it on @ESPN Los Angeles Facebook and Instagram with hashtag #MyDeWaltToughTeam. One lucky fan will score 2 tickets to the Rams vs 49ers and a new DeWalt Tough System 2.0 DXL workstation. Visit ESPNLA.com for details.
Hey football fans, there is nothing sweeter than a cold glass of Stella Rosa and watching your team compete. But Stella Rosa wants to make it even sweeter and hook you up with the chance to win an experience to the biggest game of the college football season. You could win 2 tickets to the game, airfare, and a hotel for you and a friend. Head over to ESPNLADreamTicket.com to enter the Dream Ticket Sweepstakes presented by Stella Rosa, America's favorite semi-sweet, semi-sparkling wine. Please celebrate responsibly. Must be 21 or older to enter.
You can try and negotiate with the insurance company yourself. I've tried. You're going to find out very quickly it is not that simple. Avner Gatt and his team negotiate on your behalf to make sure you're getting the best possible outcome, not the insurance company. He and his team have been dealing with insurance companies for so many years. It's all they do. They've got the experience. They've got the industry know-how that you need on your side. Now, some of these folks used to work for insurance companies before they joined Avner's team, and Avner Gatt himself has 20 years of experience in this industry. Avner Gatt has one of the largest teams of professional, licensed public adjusters in California, and yes, the size is important. Avner has a unique winning recipe for handling homeowners' insurance claims. No one, and I mean no one, messes around with Avner Gatt and his team. Call Avner Gatt, 818-917-5256, 818-917-5256, or visit AvnerGatt.com. That's AVNERGAT, AvnerGatt.com. You call Avner Gatt, 818-917-5256. Avner takes the call himself. Hello!
Now your ideas don't have to wait. Now they have everything they need to come to life. Dell Technologies and Intel are creating technology that loves ideas, loves expanding your business, evolving your passions. We push what technology can do, so great ideas can happen right now. Find out how to bring your ideas to life at Dell.com. Welcome to Now.
Hey, fans! Welcome back to Fansville's Cheers and Tears. Oh. Okay, so everybody deals with losing, right? To a rival on a last-second field goal. Whatever, it's fine. I'm totally fine. But I cope with losing with an ice-cold Dr. Pepper. Those 23 flavors are so delicious. They totally wash away the pain of your college football team taking a big fat L. College football, it's a pepper thing.
And yes, welcome to the Travis and DeMarco Show. Now mornings, 9 a.m. to noon on 710 ESPN, your destination for LA sports. Let's get back to the fellas. The Travis and DeMarco Show continues right now.
Did he leave? Is that Clinton?
That is Clinton Yates.
See? There he is. Hey, about time. What up, man?
Clinton Yates.
Good to see you.
Joining us in the studio.
I thought he hated me at one point.
He can do the beginning of the show now because our show moved up.
Oh.
He can do it before taping for TV.
I thought Clinton was one of them gatekeepers for blackness.
No. Funny, gatekeepers. There's 2 things. Number one, I realized I used to come in here after I would do TV. So let's just say 2 hours from now. But when the schedule changed, I realized I'm not going to get to see M, not going to get to see Jorge, so I got to come in before.
Nice.
So you get pre-television
I
Clinton
love
Yates,
it. Yes.
not post-television Clinton Yates.
Working on the material.
See how that works?
What are you going to talk about today?
So I came in because I specifically have a question for you.
For me?
And some of you have heard me talk about this on various shows. AK, what's up?
Hey.
When they changed the kickoff rule, this is a football-y football question.
Okay.
Why did they invent a new term for what is just basically the red zone? What is the
landing zone?
What is the point, the actual point of an extra term? And here's how I'll set it up.
Yeah, okay.
We use defensive red zone as a stat, right? Efficiency. Right. We talk about the red zone. There's a daggone channel named the red zone.
Correct.
If when you were telling me, AK, here's how we're changing the rules, okay, well, what's the rule change? You just got to kick it in the red zone. Everybody's like, okay, I get it. Instead, they've made a whole other word.
Landing zone.
It seems more complicated. It's not necessary.
Because in the red zone, if the ball hits the ground, if you throw it and the ball hits the ground, it's incomplete. In the landing zone, if the ball hits the ground, it's live.
Okay, but these are deeper rules than I think any average football fan cares about. Is that a good enough reason to make up a whole new term?
I think that's why you have to change it a little bit.
Really?
Really? Come on.
You're thinking about this?
I mean,
you're thinking about this?
I see where you're going.
Here's why I think. Here's why. And by the way, this is not to say they couldn't have come up with something better than landing zone, although I do think it is very literal. Just this is where the ball lands, blah, blah, blah. But the reason they didn't call it the red zone is now so synonymous with scoring. You are either scoring on offense, scoring on defense, and this play has nothing to do with scoring.
Unless somebody scores.
So they didn't have to change it for you.
But the ball going into that area in and of itself, you're trying to move out of the red zone in order to score. You're not moving into the red zone.
To me, it is a description of a particular
part
real
of the
estate
field
on the field. That's the red zone. Goal line to 20 is the landing zone.
Okay.
What? Where did that come
when
from?
The offense has the ball, it's the red zone. When it's a kickoff, when you're changing possessions, the red zone becomes the landing zone.
Again, though, you see my logic here. If I told
do.
if you just never had landing zone.
See, this is why I thought he didn't like
and
me.
went with red zone, it would have made sense. No, of course I love you, man.
Why
How
are you
doing?
thinking about this stuff?
I thought about it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I've been arguing with football people about it for a couple of weeks because it's annoying to me. The thing was, you know what happened was, I don't watch a lot of preseason football, and by a lot, I mean none. And so I wasn't really that clued in on what it looked like on a telecast. And I thought, okay, I'm geared up. It's going to be all different. There's all this stuff. And I turn it on. I'm like, that's the red zone, guys. Like
it is.
That's
You're
all
right.
that is. You had me all hyped up.
Would you rather
for
have
some
this
goofy change? No,
this
not at all.
kickoff rule the way it is now, or the way it was last year? Everything's a fair catch.
It's one of those things where
it's
I
just
like
a mere formality.
I like it until somebody until somebody gets better at it, then I'm going to love it. The Bears ran like a trap play on it, I think. I saw a highlight of that, and I was like, ooh, that is creative. That part I liked. But
almost everyone now is just out through the end zone, start on the 30-yard line.
Yeah.
We started off the game against the Cardinals. Blake Corum, had 30-yard return, so that's great.
I'll just give it to you there.
Can't wait to watch that landing zone channel, man.
It's going to be sweet. Landing zone channel. Oh, my God.
7 hours!
But again, the red zone channel is dedicated purely to scoring.
Yeah.
I think at this point, red zone is so synonymous with scoring is imminent. You are looking to either prevent scoring if you're on defense. You are either looking to imminently score on offense.
Yeah,
I don't agree.
The ball getting kicked into.
I think the red zone is just synonymous with something's going to happen. That's what the channel is,
or the area of
something's going to happen.
Yeah.
Score.
They're not just showing you red zone stuff. They show you every scoring play and they show you everything else.
Yes.
But they mostly show you scoring. Because
and
people
Hansen
are watching
says,
for
hey,
fantasy.
now this team's in the red zone. Now
Right.
this team's in the red
but,
zone.
again, it's the same part of the field. That's my spiel. That's my TED talk for the day.
Does your shirt say I love haters?
Of course it does.
Why do you love I guess so, yeah, you have to love haters.
Making me money.
We were
man.
talking about
do make
haters
money.
in the far side, right, DeMarco?
We were talking about haters in the far side. We were. Like
Really?
like people criticizing college athletes, and it bothers me.
How so?
They're kids.
Yeah.
They think because they're making money, now you can talk about them like you talk about LeBron.
Oh, no.
LeBron's a
That's
pro.
very different. They're still 20-year-olds, man.
That's what
and
I'm
it's
saying.
still college, which is not easy.
They're
Trust me,
still
I went
learning.
to 2 and never graduated from either one. So, it's not
You weren't
easy.
even playing a sport.
No, exactly. I was just watching guys play, right, and telling other people about it. But.
If you picked a sport, are hardcore baseball?
Yeah, I would play baseball.
That's your sport.
Yeah.
How excited or are you edge of your seat for this 50-50 Ohtani thing?
It's pretty big. I mean, there's a club of 0 as of now.
Yeah.
If he walks into it, he's in the club of 1. I think that is
for you. Is that making you antsy?
I
like
think
I
it's
can't wait
one of those things that for whatever we're going to see out of Ohtani's career, and we can't assume championships. He's already played long enough. We're certainly not assuming championships with this team because it just hasn't happened in a long time in a full season. That might be the thing that reminds everybody how great this guy was.
50-50.
If that ends up being the lone thing that we end up remembering for
another
100
MVP.
years from now.
But if
and 100 years from now, he was 50-50 and he pitched.
But if he stopped on 48-48, you still remember it, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay,
But what I'm saying is for those people that are literally not with us yet when we are dead and gone,
yeah.
that will be a number that is impossible to change or impossible to rather look at and not say, wow.
Look, there's something different about the 5 at the front of the number versus the 4.
5-0.
Yeah.
Like,
would you rather get
Super
beaten
Bowl
48-3
yeah.
or 50-0?
50, no doubt. Yeah, 50 is a sexier number.
You think about a team that won 49 games differently and worse than a team that won 50.
This is true.
Even though it really is not that much different, they're the same team.
Very true.
50 sounds, it hits different than 49.
Aren't you rooting for, like, if your team is down by 48, aren't you kind of rooting for that 50th point? So, yeah, we lost by 50.
I root for 50 burgers every week in college football.
Yeah.
Every single week, I'm hoping somebody
Go
puts
hard
up a
or
50
go
burger.
home.
You know, that's a good point. It's like when we're all cosmic dust like 100 years from now.
Yeah.
And let's say Mahomes goes for a three-peat. That might be more top of mind than Brady's 7.
Perhaps.
Because it's never been done before.
It's never been done.
One thing is a part of the furniture. The other thing's on the mantle.
Yeah.
They're kind of different elements. So
I wonder,
stick it in the landing zone.
I wonder, will Mahomes someday track him down as the best quarterback ever?
He
so
is
young.
making a case for him.
He's young enough to do it. He's young enough to do it.
Here's my thing. That becomes tough because it's one of those things almost like sort of, not Jordan LeBron, I don't want to get into that, but there's a certain thing that Pat has done that you can't duplicate. I think. I mean, that Brady has done this. You can't exactly duplicate just in terms of
Here's
presence.
the thing, too. Here's the thing, too. You get such a built-in advantage. Once you are universally declared the GOAT, it is so difficult. Like, culture builds in. It's kind of like the Beatles are always going to be considered the gold standard of pop rock music.
Zero bangers. We'll get over that. We'll talk about that.
Whatever.
Zero banger.
You don't have to agree.
Ask Quincy Jones. Google Quincy Jones and the Beatles
I've
right
seen this
now
quote.
if you want to argue
But
with me.
I think most people would agree. They are considered it.
Yeah.
And once you get put there, it is really difficult. Like Hendrix with guitar.
Correct.
Yeah.
Hendrix is considered the gold standard for guitar. There have been a couple people, I think, Stevie Ray Vaughan came close.
Yeah, we're talking about the exact same thing.
Close.
I agree with your logic entirely, but I think that the reason why Brady really put himself apart was when he went to another team and did it.
With
was
Tampa.
like, okay.
Hey, say it wasn't just Bill. It's me. I
He
can take
beat
to Tampa,
Bell.
a team that's not that good.
Brought Gronkowski with him.
Yes.
To be fair.
Yes, exactly.
Greatest tenor tight end of all time, but you're right.
I'm going to be interested to see what's going to happen without Andy Reid.
Did you say greatest tight end of all time?
For me, yeah.
We're going to have a fight.
I'm picking him over everybody.
We're fighting.
Oh, that's fine, but I'm picking him over everybody.
We're fighting.
It might be one of those.
Kellen Winslow.
Playground pick 'em.
Andy Reid probably has, 5 more years left max?
5? That's
high.
And
that's
so,
long.
and so Patrick will likely play longer than without Andy Reid.
Yeah.
So it's like, how do you do
Excellent
without
observation.
Andy? You know?
I bet when Reid steps down, it'll be Spagnuolo.
Look, man, Andy Reid.
I don't have guys that I'm in this Andy Reid
Well, because
succession.
Spags called a timeout in the first game.
I know.
So.
Did you see that? Yeah. Overstepping a little bit?
Here's why. I mean, you are correct that Andy Reid is synonymous with Mahomes, and their success has been intertwined.
And Mahomes got him over the hump.
Yeah,
I was going to say,
good point.
Andy Reid used to be known as the guy who couldn't win the big game until he could. All right, little factor cap coming up next. Clinton, you want to stick around?
No, I'm off to the landing zone. See you guys later.
All right. Am I black enough?
Where did this come up from? Do we have to do the Black Olympics? Are we going to do that? There comes
Yes.
the
I would
Olympics,
watch the Black
Paralympics, then
Yeah.
the Black
What's
Olympics.
the Black Olympics?
We can figure that out. This is a good bit.
I would
Put a pin in that.
I would
Put
watch
a pin in
that.
that. Yeah.
Come back to that.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
See you guys.
Travis and DeMarco, 710 ESPN.
Hey football fans, there is nothing sweeter than a cold glass of Stella Rosa and watching your team compete. But Stella Rosa wants to make it even sweeter and hook you up with the chance to win an experience to the biggest game of the college football season. You could win 2 tickets to the game, airfare, and a hotel for you and a friend. Head over to ESPNLADreamTicket.com to enter the Dream Ticket Sweepstakes presented by Stella Rosa, America's favorite semi-sweet, semi-sparkling wine. Please celebrate responsibly. Must be 21 or older to enter.
Phone. Experience all this and more on America's largest 5G network. So why wait? At T-Mobile, customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Just go to T-Mobile.com/choice55 or visit your local store to make the switch.
With AutoPay using debit or bank account plus taxes and fees, 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. Free phones up to $300 off with 24 monthly bill credits and qualifying new line for well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Contact us before canceling entire account to continue remaining bill credits. Bill credits end if you pay off device early. See details at T-Mobile.com.
Gear up and get out to Kelsey's at Pachanga, the top spot in the Temecula Valley to watch all the Monday Night Football action. dozens of TVs means all your favorite games. Plus a M&F food menu fit for the greatest fans. Sliders, loaded tater tots, pulled pork pizza, and a lot more. Plus you'll find beers on tap and incredible craft cocktails at Kelsey's. Visit Pachanga.com and follow @Pachanga Casino on Instagram for info about special and exclusive NFL team appearances. We'll see you at Kelsey's at Pachanga.
Hey, it's Travis.
And DeMarco.
Hey, accidents can be shocking, devastating, and difficult to deal with, which is why you should never deal with them alone and have family on your side.
Joseph S. Normand and his trusted team are family, and they're here to help you achieve the maximum compensation you deserve.
You know, when my son was in an accident, we called Joseph at 213-747-2000, and he was able to help.
You have many choices in a legal team, but family always comes first.
Visit normandlegal.com or call 213-747-2000. That's 213-747-2000. The law offices of Joseph S. Normand.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you. Discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at Hims, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/joy and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free, with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit, hims.com/joy.
Here we go. It is Factor Cap time.
Factor Cap.
On the Travis and DeMarco Show. Each weekday around 10:30, producer Emily serves up what's going down, and fun and frivolity ensues. Special thanks to the law offices of Joseph S. Normand for making Factor Cap possible.
It's Joseph S. Normand. It's Factor Cap on the Travis and DeMarco Show on 710 ESPN. And if you've been hurt in an accident, let me help you. Call my office at 213-747-2000. That's 213-747-2000.
Let's do it. Factor Cap.
Right now. Take it away, producer Emily.
Welcome to Factor Cap.
Aloha. Aloha. Thanks, Joe. All right, today is National Cheeseburger Day.
Hey.
So make sure you get yourself a cheeseburger.
Cut it in half.
I've been getting a lot of the Flying Dutchman on my TikTok, which is the In-N-Out order, but instead of a bun, it's 2 whole grilled onions, and so you just bite into that. Sounds fantastic.
That actually does sound really good.
And anyway, so, but that being said, I think we've all loved and enjoyed cheeseburgers in our days, but the simpler the cheeseburger, the better it is. Andy, Factor Cap.
I'm going Cap. I understand the thought process and like the sentiment behind the simpler, the better. Just taking it back to its basics, like taking it
like
back
Ron
to
Swanson in Parks and Recreation, just
like,
a burger and a cheese
sure.
and a bun.
Oh, look, there's that scene in The Menu where Anna Joy Taylor asks Ralph Fiennes, this very pompous chef, to make her a cheeseburger. And like the simplest cheeseburger possible, just beef, American cheese, patty, that's it. That being said, as somebody who enjoys cooking, I like the process of being creative with it. I like the idea of putting some different stuff on it. You don't want to overwhelm it, and you don't want to be putting stuff on just to give yourself clever points. But I prefer it with a little bit of zazz. Prefer a little zazz.
All right, DeMarco.
I got to use that. Clever points. I like that. First of all, there is no such thing as a bad cheeseburger.
Yeah.
Yeah, cheeseburgers are always good. And if there is an allotment of cheeseburgers that you can eat in a lifetime, I surpassed that a long time ago.
What about restaurant style versus smash burger? Like thick boys versus smashed?
The one that's in front of me is the best
My
burger
wife
ever.
and daughter just got me a smash burger kit.
Oh, really?
Using that.
It's cool,
great.
right?
It's great.
But
it's fun.
I got to say to your question, fact, the best cheeseburger is the simplest burger. Sometimes we get a little overboard. We put too much on it, and it's not a burger anymore. Like you said, it's clever points. It's like art on a bun. No, I just want a fistful of meat with cheese on 2 pieces of bread. Give it to me. Thank you.
What kind of cheese?
You know, I'm a Swiss guy, to be
So
honest.
do I.
Yeah.
I love
Swiss.
It adds a little bit of funk to the whole thing.
Throw some mushrooms on top. I'm a happy
Now,
guy.
they say, though, and this again came up in the menu, they say the best cheese for a cheeseburger is actually just American cheese simply because of the melting properties.
Yeah.
I don't love it in terms of, I mean, I don't dislike it, but I like other cheeses better in terms of pure taste.
Yeah.
But if you are just looking for that picturesque melt, American is apparently
cheese.
the way to go.
No Munster.
Jorge, what do you think?
Fact. Yeah, I can. There's no. You can't go wrong with a cheeseburger, but I do like adding avocado and bacon on mine.
Grilled onions, maybe a little jalapeno.
Yeah.
My whole thing
that burger's like 2 feet tall.
No, I don't want to turn it into a
See?
Dagwood. Like, there's got to be limits.
But
Okay.
I found this. I found this packet of meat the other day. I went to the grocery store, and it's brisket, chuck, and short rib, beef patties.
Yep.
And dude, it's
Yes.
delicious.
And if you ever cut your cheeseburger in half when I'm sitting with you, check.
No, those meat blends are good.
Oh,
Like
they
the
are.
beef and pork blends, those are really good.
My big thing is I don't want my the ingredients to slip out.
Yeah.
So that's what avocados tends to be, where it slips out of your burger. Same thing for like some like tomatoes and stuff like that. As long as everything stays compact, I'm good.
That's why the order that you do this stuff matters. Like, you want to have, if you like lettuce, part of the big benefits of lettuce is if you're using an actual leaf, it also serves as kind of a dome to keep everything inside. Like, you put the lettuce on last, it actually helps keep everything contained.
Keeps the mushroom, keeps
Yeah.
the avocado
See,
inside
that's
of
when
it.
me and Travis kind of like
But see,
fell
if you-
in love.
but if you
no, look, seriously, for like I told him, when you go to McDonald's, because we like to eat and drive, don't get the double quarter pounder because it'll slip when you're driving. Get the if you're really hungry, get 2 quarter pounders. And because the one patty doesn't slip.
Don't get if you're driving, don't get a Big Mac. That's way too.
It's in your lap.
No,
Right,
no,
that's
you gotta do
way
it right.
too
I know
much
how to
stuff.
do
It's
that.
in your
I'm
lap.
good.
Yeah.
I'm cool. No, but if you're gonna put avocado, you can spread it just like toast. Spread it on
Bring
your
that up
flatten
again.
it
Flatten it.
on the top. Oh, yeah.
No, thank you.
Point counterpoint.
So,
Jorge, my man.
so I'm going to go to my friend's play tonight. So my friend, she was studying at Lambda, which is like London's acting academy, whatever. She's been in London studying acting for a couple years, and her like graduating class are doing a tour of
The
New York
London
and
Royal
LA.
Academy, that one?
It's Lambda. I don't know if
Okay.
it's that, but I don't think it's Royal Academy. But she's
Lambda and Omega Mu.
she's incredibly talented. But I'm gonna go see her showcase tonight, and so I haven't seen her in years because she's been in London, and I'm thinking, because you go to a play, and especially if you know someone in it, you bring flowers. You say, "Hey, congratulations, good job
You are
performing."
correct. Yes.
So, but is that something you only do for people like in high school and in
No.
middle school?
I-
So that's what my statement is. I should bring flowers to my friend in an adult play. DeMarco?
Oh, fact. Absolutely. Yes, that's part of the
Part of the ritual.
tradition.
Yes,
the
the
ritual.
ritual.
Yeah,
Yeah.
somebody's on stage. You bring them flowers after their performance. Ballet, ice skating, whatever. You bring them flowers after their performance. Yes,
Even if they're an
fact.
adult, not your child or
Even
your kid.
if they're adults, yes.
It is not only fact. I can give you an example. I was in New York in April, and we saw Hamilton, and I saw cast members being handed bouquets of flowers.
Yes.
These are grown-ass adults in the highest profile play going in America. They got flowers.
That's how
Okay,
you say you appreciate their work. Yes.
And I think I'm going to bring this, but also one more thing. She's leaving tomorrow. So do I still bring flowers even if she's leaving tomorrow?
Yes. Even though they're going to wind up in the trash.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
You bring them anyway.
Yeah,
You did
that's
your
what
job.
I was thinking about it, and I
Yes.
was like, I think that'd be nice.
Them
And
flowers were
Jorge-
going to die at some point anyway. It's
Yes.
fine.
One of the best thing my wife does is that she will never forget to bring the flowers for stuff like that.
No.
Yeah.
In fact, bring the flowers just like
Yes.
Benjamin did to Daisy and Benjamin Button.
Again.
That's my
Work
fault.
that in every day. I love it.
That's what I'm saying.
And my sticking point, my parents disagree on, but I remember because I lived it. My parents never gave me flowers when I performed, and I was an avid participant in drama.
That explains a
After
lot.
I was in a lot of plays, I was in a lot of musicals, I was very active in acting, and I never got flowers.
I'm going to start doing that to some of the Rams.
Do they at least go to the shows?
Yeah.
Yes, they would go to the shows.
Okay.
Yes, they
Because
would go to the
otherwise,
shows.
you really are. They're sending you a hint.
But the thing is then they would see my little sister Sarah perform, and they'd give her flowers. I'm like,
Oh, we're starting.
Oh.
See, we're
What
getting
the
somewhere.
heck?
Oh, this is
why.
This took a dark turn.
Yeah, this
Yes.
is why.
And I was just never appreciated. And this is why I am who I am today.
I like it.
Just kidding. My mom
Jorge,
and dad love me.
I'm bringing Matthew Stafford flowers from now on.
Yeah, you should.
I appreciate your games.
My mom will be here next month, so
Really?
we can
Wow.
litigate
Mama
it on
Heagle's
air.
coming?
Mom, nice.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna bring her in one day. All right, last thing. So Tennessee University of Tennessee, home of the Volunteers, are adding something to your ticket price. Okay, so if you want to go see a game at Tennessee, say your ticket was $50, they are going to add a 10% quote unquote talent fee.
Wow.
That will go to raise money to give players money. So NIL. So if you bought your ticket for $50, $5 are going to go to the NIL fund.
Interesting.
So this is a good idea, Jorge Factor Cap.
I would say fact, but if they can get rid of that convenience fee or whatever they charge you when you buy a ticket online, they charge you.
Yeah.
If they can get rid of that and we can give that money to the
service
athletes,
fee.
Yeah.
Like if it doesn't change the price of your
That's
ticket.
not going anywhere, I can promise you.
Yeah,
that's a
what
different
sucks.
service altogether.
That's what sucks. But yeah, fact, give them the money.
Andy?
I mean,
10%'s a lot. If you're buying a ticket for $500,
look, this is the dirty little secret of all industries. As they grow more expensive, one way or another, it's going to get passed down that price to the consumer. Like this was inevitable. Nothing becomes more expensive and the industry says, you know what, we'll handle that ourselves. We got this. That never happens. So I say fact it's okay because it just feels inevitable. This is where it was headed.
I'm with you. How much are the tickets again? You said $50?
So I'm just saying, speculating. If your ticket is $50, you bought a ticket for $50, then they'd add a $5.
I'd say fact. It's
Talent
a
fee.
good idea. I mean, within reason, I'd put a cap on it, maybe $100.
But if you're a Tennessee Volunteer, you'd be like, "Hey, I am putting my fan. Say, I'm putting myself in this."
Do you become like one of those stockholders of the Green Bay Packers?
Yeah, exactly.
Sounds like it, right? Now you can start calling plays.
Oh, okay. DeMarco,
See?
taking this back to what you were
Yeah.
talking about. If you think fans are getting out of pocket now,
Oh my God.
think about this once they become NIL donors. Like, this is my money
Okay,
going
I
to
changed my
this
answer.
player.
This is cap then. No, this is bad. This is horrible. See? It'd be like Green Bay. They think they own the team now.
Yep.
Wow. That was Factor Cap with Travis and DeMarco. You have many choices in the legal team, but family always comes first. Call this number right now, 213-747-2000. The law office of Joseph S. Normand, 213-747-2000. That's 213-747-2000, or visit normandlegal.com.
All right, we mentioned it before. We'll get into it in more detail. Caleb Williams had a moment that a lot of people did not like after the Bears' recent loss. That's coming up. Travis and DeMarco, 710 ESPN.
The new.
Calling all tradespeople, maintenance, and facilities pros. DeWalt is hooking up you and a teammate with 2 tickets to the Rams home opener versus the San Francisco 49ers on Sunday the 22nd, plus a new DeWalt Tough System 2.0 DXL workstation. Just snap a pic of you and your team working hard on the job site and post it on @ESPN Los Angeles Facebook and Instagram with hashtag #MyDeWaltToughTeam. One lucky fan will score 2 tickets to the Rams vs 49ers and a new DeWalt Tough System 2.0 DXL workstation. Visit ESPNLA.com for details.
Hey football fans, there is nothing sweeter than a cold glass of Stella Rosa and watching your team compete. But Stella Rosa wants to make it even sweeter and hook you up with the chance to win an experience to the biggest game of the college football season. You could win 2 tickets to the game, airfare, and a hotel for you and a friend. Head over to ESPNLADreamTicket.com to enter the Dream Ticket Sweepstakes presented by Stella Rosa, America's favorite semi-sweet, semi-sparkling wine. Please celebrate responsibly. Must be 21 or older to enter.
at CDF Zone or visit their website, cdfzone.com.
At Hyundai, we make a big deal about the little things, like the little fact that 9 Hyundai vehicles have earned IIHS top safety picks this year, and offering a little thing called America's Best Warranty, because delivering safety and quality, pretty big deal. Visit your nearest Hyundai dealer today. Hyundai, there's joy in every journey.
Get 1.99% APR for 60 months on the Hyundai Tucson and Tucson Hybrid. See your SoCal Hyundai dealer. Offers end September 30th. Call 714-568-7676 for details.
Are you ready to build your company's dream team? Just like in sports, finding skilled players is essential for success. With Robert Half's winning combination of specialized recruiting professionals and award-winning AI, we'll help you find the MVPs and key role players who will have you hanging banners in the rafters. Because in business, it's all about having the experienced team on your side. At Robert Half, we know talent. Visit roberthalf.com today.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture. With daily use.
And yes, welcome to the Travis and DeMarco Show. Now mornings, 9 a.m. to noon on 710 ESPN. Your destination for LA sports. Let's get back to the fellas. The Travis and DeMarco Show continues right now.
Today.
Come on, Jorge, say it.
Say it. Earlier you said you want to bring flowers to the Rams every Sunday.
Yes.
I said you should. It's a funeral every Sunday. So
See?
you should.
It's 49er week.
Go Niners, baby.
I cannot wait. You're going to be the first up the aisle when you're losing.
You should bring me flowers
There's a lot
Monday.
of talking about it. I will say, well, if I had to bet on this game, I would honestly bet on the Niners.
No, you wouldn't.
It's a lot of talking for a team that also is kind of in shambles and not looking all that great
I know.
themselves.
But you can
It's
say
49ers week,
it's
yeah.
49ers week. Yes.
Let's roll.
Speaking of 49ers week, today is the last day, mercifully for me reading this, to enter the Rams-Niners tickets giveaway. Calling all tradespeople, maintenance, and facilities pros. 710 and DeWalt are hooking your team up with tickets to the Rams home opener on Sunday, plus a DeWalt Tough System 2.0 DXL workstation to enter. Post a pic of you and your team working hard on the site on the ESPN
a nice
Los
selfie,
Angeles.
a little duck face.
Yeah,
anything.
little duck face. Everyone nice
POV
profile,
shot.
whatever. Go to the
Come on,
ESPN
man.
Los Angeles Facebook or IG at ESPN Los Angeles with the hashtag My DeWalt Tough Team.
Don't post a reel by accident like Travis would.
Visit.
Wow.
He is not eligible to win this anyway. Visit ESPNLA.com for details on how to enter and the sweepstakes rules.
Watching you read that is so much fun.
Yeah.
And then us interrupting you. But yes.
I'm not going to miss
you
that
kept
one.
it together.
Not
At
gonna miss
ESPN
that
Los
one.
Angeles, hashtag My DeWalt Tough Team.
DeWalt.
Again,
Yes.
send a duck face, send a selfie, send anything you
Duck
want.
face.
Speaking of guys working, when you guys have something done at your house, and these guys are in there working, do you guys watch and ask for like advice, or do you guys just let them do their thing?
Oh my God, I pepper them with questions.
I can totally picture this.
Big time. Oh, I
You're
want to
just
know.
standing over them the whole time.
And the smart ones won't tell me because it's job security. I want to know what you're doing so I can fix it next time. Yeah, this was my last resort calling you. But next time this happens, I'll be able to do it. So, oh yeah, don't you? You don't pepper them?
Nah,
No?
I just let them do their thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't
I
want.
mean, they're all Jorge's guys anyway.
They're my primos, my tios.
I want to know everything. Yeah.
We have two dogs. One of them is a bulldog pit mix. The dog hates the lawn workers.
Really?
So he goes crazy. Not just when any either lawn guy or leaf blower is in our backyard.
Yeah.
Anywhere on our block.
He goes nuts.
He goes nuts to the point where like he jumps on you and like you need to like cuddle him. And
Is
like
he
essentially
scared of the noise?
It is a loud noise.
He hates it. It just upsets
I thought
him.
you meant he wants to attack him.
It's a little bit of both.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
I think he wants to attack it because he wants it to stop, and I think he wants it to stop because it scares him.
Are there little like doggy earmuffs you could put on his ears?
I don't know. That's actually a good idea.
Doggy earmuffs.
It would be
That's cute.
But I mean, he literally will end up cuddling you, like his front arms around you.
Wow.
Because he hates it so much.
What did we have? We had to call a plumber, and he was changing the garbage disposal. And I'm like, I just asked him questions. So next time this happens, I'll do it. And he stopped. He was telling me everything, and then he stopped because he realized I'm, gaining knowledge.
You know what it's like?
From
It's
him.
like those famous chefs who give away 3/4 of their recipes.
Yeah,
and
that's
the 3/4 of the stuff you could come up with this on your own.
Right.
I'm not giving you the other quarter
real
because
stuff. He's not
that's
gonna
what
tell
makes
me.
it this.
Yes. Speaking of real stuff, you were asking about Caleb. What did he do?
So Caleb Williams, last Sunday.
What are you guys talking about?
Well, the Bears lost to the Texans.
Yes.
Caleb Williams really struggled in this game. He's had a rough go to open the NFL rookie season, which can be expected.
Yes.
Rookie quarterback. But
they are supporting him, Emily, and he's still struggling. Just talking about young quarterbacks, but go ahead.
But he and C.J. Stroud, who was the rare quarterback who tore things up as a rookie, granted better system around him.
Yes.
But C.J. Stroud also looks like the real deal. He looks really good.
I mean, the first question I had when I saw him up close in Houston, I said, it was great, but can you do it again? One time is one thing. Like RG3 took the league by storm, and then he was done. So
far, so good.
So far,
with Stroud.
so good. Yeah.
But they did everyone after the game gives their daps up, gives their high fives.
The
how
team,
you doing, whatever.
The head coaches meet, they shake hands. The quarterbacks meet.
So you have this moment between Caleb Williams and C.J. Stroud, where C.J. Let me see if I can get the exact wording of
I know
this.
what you're talking
Turn
about.
down the volume on
Yeah.
it. So C.J. Stroud says to him, "Good job out there, bro. Good game. Yeah, stop taking those hits." And then Williams starts to walk away.
Yeah.
And Stroud actually stops and is like, hey, learn from this. Learn from it. And Caleb Williams seems to be listening more after C.J. Stroud stopped him. He's like, learn from this. Learn. You're going to be a great quarterback in this league. And, thanks, whatever. But a lot of people were on Caleb Williams, at least on social media, because they thought it was a bad look for him to be walking away from this very accomplished young quarterback as you are a young quarterback that is struggling.
Social media, that bastion of positivity. There, that right there.
Yeah.
So it's funny. So you we're going after Caleb Williams for how he reacted. But did anybody say, good on C.J. Stroud for saying that to him? Because it is awesome. I mean, look, he's telling him, hey, look, learn from this. I've been through this. I've been where you are. This is going to be tougher than you imagine. So if you need help, here's my number. That's what they all do. That's what they all say to each other. But I mean, to ignore Caleb or C.J. Stroud reaching out to the kid and just focus on how Caleb took that after a loss, that is so social media.
That's part of it too. Look, I've been in a million
I did see Tom Brady run off the field without shaking hands a bunch. Yeah, it happens.
I've been in a million locker rooms after NBA games, NFL games, baseball, whatever. And as much as it is part of the job, getting the reaction from these guys as it's fresh, what happened in the game, also, too, you need to write your stories, do your videos, whatever. I have always felt a lot of empathy for these guys having to do this when it's still pretty raw for them. They're still processing some stuff they haven't.
Talk to the media?
Yeah.
Oh, no, this is different. You're talking to your opponent.
No, I know that. But what I'm saying is I've always felt for these guys having to just speak about the game they just played, this very emotional game, particularly if they lose, being put in that process of having to do this before they've really had time to digest what happens.
I don't know how it works in basketball, but in football, you have that cool-off period. So there's
a cool-off.
Yeah, you're not. The media is not allowed in, and the players get a chance to collect their thoughts.
But it's still relatively quick after this thing happened. In the case of Caleb Williams and C.J. Stroud there, he's had 30 seconds to process a very frustrating night for him.
Yeah.
There's a part of me that feels for him being in that situation with everybody watching it.
I think you need to factor that into who you are and what you represent. I'll say this, in Arizona, right, when they brought out the captains for the team. So Matthew Stafford, of course, is one of the Rams captains, and Kyler Murray wasn't. So the captains are on the field, getting ready to go through the coin toss, and there's Kyler Murray on the opposite sideline by himself. That's weird. Usually your quarterback is your leader, but that's not how he rolls. Maybe Caleb Williams is more like Kyler Murray. He's just an island unto himself, and he's going to play the way he plays. But This is part of it. After the game, it is ceremonial. The head coaches shake hands. The quarterbacks shake hands. So go out there. If he has something to say to you, especially if he's the senior member, you listen and you say, thank you very much. Good luck the rest of the year. I hope I see you down the road, and walk off.
Some of this is a Caleb Williams thing, too, because people think he is extremely cocky and that he's somebody that feels like...
He said he's never been nervous his entire life on Hard Knocks.
Right.
He's never been nervous?
That's what he said. On Hard Knocks, he said, I've never been nervous my entire life.
Dang. Good job, Mom and Dad.
At anything?
Good job. Yeah.
I guess so.
I mean, isn't that the way you want your kids' life? I don't want my kids to be nervous about anything.
Okay, I think that you should have a healthy amount of fear. Because if you haven't experienced failure, I think that makes you set up to be supremely confident in a bad way.
I think Caleb is full of it. Of course, everybody's been scared at some point.
Well, look, I mean, there's a certain amount of nerves that will build up, I think, in any experience you care about. Like anything you're looking to do. Like there will be times I've done a lot of radio over the years. There will still occasionally be a time where I feel a little bit of nerves build up before start. Not even because I'm nervous.
Yeah.
But just the idea of, this is about to start.
Nerves come with respect.
Right. Or just nerves come with
nerves come with respect. There's alligators down there. I better respect how I'm walking or I could get...
You're just acknowledging I'm about to do something.
Do you think it's easier for C.J. Stroud to give this advice when he won? It's like it's easier for him to come up from if CJ had lost, do you think he'd be imparting this wisdom onto Caleb Williams, or would he act like Caleb Williams did?
Yes, I do, and I do think that Caleb Williams. I think that CJ Stroud would have been better in a loss, because this is going to sound funny. You have to learn how to lose, and you have to learn how to win, and what it means for both. What it means to you as a team. So, like Shedeur Sanders is really going to have to learn how to win when he gets to this level. Because you can't behave like that on a victory. You can't behave like that, period, as the quarterback. You're going to have to learn. So Caleb, I think, is learning.
Well, some of this, too, and this gets back to the way people react to Caleb Williams versus C.J. Stroud. C.J. Stroud seems just like a very grounded guy. He seems like an old soul.
He's awesome,
right.
Man. Met him. D'Amico Ryans is fantastic. If it wasn't for Sean McVay, I would want that guy to be my coach.
He's a good coach.
He said this is what he liked about C.J. Stroud. He just loves to play football. Not what football gives him or the money you get from it. He just loves to play. That's the right guy. That's the guy, if you're Caleb Williams, you want to listen to. Because that's the joy you need to have to be a quarterback in the National Football League.
All right. Speaking of some football, take it to where Caleb Williams used to play, USC. The narrative about this upcoming SC Michigan game has changed really dramatically, really quickly. Talk about that. Travis and DeMarco show. Andy Kamenetsky in for Travis, 710 ESPN.
Steve Nick.
Calling all tradespeople, maintenance, and facilities pros. DeWalt is hooking up you and a teammate with 2 tickets to the Rams home opener versus the San Francisco 49ers on Sunday the 22nd, plus a new DeWalt Tough System 2.0 DXL workstation. Just snap a pic of you and your team working hard on the job site and post it on @ESPN Los Angeles Facebook and Instagram with hashtag #MyDeWaltToughTeam. One lucky fan will score 2 tickets to the Rams vs 49ers and a new DeWalt Tough System 2.0 DXL workstation. Visit ESPNLA.com for details.
Again, that is therams.com/SF. See you at the Rams house this Sunday, September 22nd.
Hey guys, it's Cappy. You've heard me talk about my personal situation with my divorce and subsequent custody battle in the past, and I know that you need a team behind you to get the justice you deserve. My friend Mark Reel and his team at Real Fathers Rights are here to help you guys. Visit realfathersrights.com/710. That's REEL, realfathersrights.com/710, or call 323-870-1611. That's 323-870-1611. Real Fathers Rights, the Father's Rights Attorneys.
The new fall lineup.
Business
of 710 ESPN.
The morning drive gets going with unsportsmanlike. Greeny has your top stories each weekday from 7 to 9 a.m.
Then, introducing
The Travis and DeMarco Show from 9 to noon. Mason and Ireland follow from noon to 3. And the LA Afternoon Drive Takeover.
Sedano and Cap, 3 to 6.
The new fall lineup of 710 ESPN.
Tonight at BMO Stadium, a massive midweek showdown with Austin and the presence of King Carlos Vela.
Carlos Vela, welcome back!
Only 7 games remain in the regular season, and at this point, every match has massive playoff seeding implications.
We will need the whole roster. We will need every single player on the team, and now it's crunch time, and now we have to show off.
LAFC hosts Austin FC. Pre-game begins tonight at 7 p.m. on 710 ESPN and the ESPN LA app.
The fun way to drive home is with Sedano and Cap.
Weekdays after Mason in Ireland.
Thank you so much for this ice block, because man, oh man, does this feel good.
No problem.
You got to sit on this. No, you have to sit on this.
I'm good.
I'll even flip the ice bag so you're not sitting where I sit.
No, sucio.
It's not sucio.
Sí, sucio.
It's no es sucio.
Cochino.
No, it's no es chino.
Cochino.
No.
Cochino.
Okay, well, that too. Sedano and Cap today at 3 p.m.
on 710 ESPN. 710 ESPN, your home for the 17-time world champion Lakers.
KSPN Los Angeles, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
This is the Travis and DeMarco Show.
Now weekdays 9 a.m. to noon on LA's mega sports station.
710 ESPN.
I, earlier today, had the gauntlet thrown down on me. Shout out USC. I had the gauntlet thrown down on me for my sister. So my sister and I are in the same fantasy league for the first time ever. And her and I are going against each other this week. And Claire wanted to put out a friendly wager on top of what we already wagered for the fantasy football league. And I am scared I'm going to lose. So I don't want to do it. But should I just do it anyway?
Yes.
Yeah, make it interesting.
She's been killing it.
Face your fear. What's the worst that could happen?
That I lose money.
Okay, that's bad. That's okay. You might win.
Is her team that much better than yours?
I think typically, like, her team had the second most points in the league the first week. I think she lost the second week, but I barely won the first week, and then lost by a lot the second week. So I am not feeling super.
Older, younger
confident.
sister?
Older sister.
Older sister. Is there a rivalry between you two?
A rivalry that I win.
You win? Okay. Yeah, there you go. You don't want to. I got you.
But the thing is that I try not to enter into things I'm going to lose. Therefore, I tend to win. And I think I'm going to lose.
Is this the air fryer freak or a different sister?
This is air fryer freak sister.
Air fryer freak sister?
My sister is down to fry.
She's down to fry.
DTF.
She really loves.
No, like really, truly, she is down to fry.
Down to fry. Okay.
Yeah, DeMarco, you're new. You haven't heard about this.
Whoa. Okay.
So my sister has maybe 3 air fryers in her possession at any point in time. So one is her travel air fryer that she keeps in her car.
No, this is all true,
air
DeMarco.
Fryer?
Hey, I'm not done.
Okay.
The other one is
I'm walking here.
At her job. So she has a job where
One at work.
She's at work a lot. So she spends a lot of hours at work. So she has an air fryer at work.
The one in the car. Never mind. Go ahead.
The car is for transport. So if I'm stuck in a place and I need to air fry.
Like it actually works in the car.
No, she has to like. If she
Plug
goes to
it
her
in.
friend's house, it's just easier to keep in the car.
Goes to the side of a gas
Just
station.
making sure.
Plugs into the wall.
Pimp my air fryer. Yeah. Isn't that part of Pimp My Ride? Put an air fryer in there? Okay, there
And
you
then
go.
she has the Porsche of air fryers in her home.
The Porsche of air fryers.
She has a very nice, expensive air fryer in her home, the double basket, like I think it's from Ninja or whatever. She has that one in her home that she uses primarily. So she had to have a funeral for one of her air fryers in the past.
Funeral for an air fryer.
Yeah, she loves her air fryer.
I amend my original statement. No, you shouldn't bet with this person.
She
No.
Amazon ordered an air fryer to her vacation that we were taking in South Carolina. The house did not have an air fryer, so she Amazon ordered it like express,
Wow.
like 2 hours shipping.
Wow.
To Hilton Head.
I like air fryers, but dang, that's a wow.
It's a lot. So anyway, I think that I am not going to wager anything, because again, it doesn't have to be money. It could be something else, but
Cheese sticks.
Better an air fryer. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you win, you take her Porsche of an air fryer. How about that? That'd be good.
Oh, I don't think she would never wager.
She would never wager that.
That's like waging one of her children.
Yeah, she doesn't have a child nor a pet, and that's her pet.
That's the one. That's the child, not the one in the car or the one at work. Okay, got it.
Speaking of wagers, Park Party and Play at Hollywood Park Casino, LA's premier card room, now open 24/7. Tune in all week this week to Travis and DeMarco to win the ultimate game day prize pack from Hollywood Park Casino that includes this Sunday's tailgate party passes at the casino and game day tickets. Bring some flowers at SoFi. Listen for your cue to call 877-710-ESPN, and don't miss your chance to win. I can't do the gesture that I want to do right
There's
now.
a rat on your shoulder.
To miss your chance to win the ultimate game day prize pack, Hollywood Park Casino, Park Party, and Play. You got to be 21 or older to enter.
I'm so
And
honored.
Scene.
I'm honored, man. I listen to you when you do the Locked On Lakers. I'm honored to listen to you do spots.
Do you watch him too?
No, I just listen. I'm
YouTube
not going to look at him.
There's a YouTube
No,
component.
I'm not going to look at him.
Well, funny you bring that up.
Yeah.
They're referring to Locked On Lakers, the podcast that I host 5 days a week, anywhere you get your podcast, Monday through Friday. It's never behind a paywall. And for the sickos who like to watch, there is a YouTube component.
See? That's exactly the way I picture your face when you're doing it. See? When I'm walking at 5 in the morning, I'm actually listening to you.
That makes a T-shirt for the sickos who like to watch.
Yes.
That should be on a
That'd be us.
T-shirt.
It should, and on the back, Locked On
Yes.
Lakers. YouTube component.
And Porsche of air fryers. I like this.
But we came into the segment with the USC fight song.
Yes.
Because got a big game coming up on Saturday.
Michigan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that the USC has a real chance to win here because Michigan's already changing their quarterback. They changed from who they had before, I can't even remember, but to Orgy. And Orgy, stop laughing, DeMarco. It's his last name, okay? It's a common last name, apparently.
We're going to have an adult conversation about orgies.
Okay?
Go.
And I'm talking about my sister who's DTF to fry. But Orgy's a running quarterback. The idea that you're changing quarterbacks 2 games into the season
Orgy
is not...
likes to get loose.
Will you stop?
Never mind. I'm done with that.
No, keep going. Go ahead.
It's not exactly instilling confidence into Michigan, as well as Sherrod Moore didn't tell his team until after he told the media.
That's crazy. That is a sign of something wrong, dysfunction. When the media knows before your team does.
I just think it's crazy how quickly, like, remember before the season began and USC's entry into the Big Ten and tougher schedule, Lincoln Riley wondering whether or not for practical reasons you can keep the whole Notre Dame thing going as opposed to trying to pad your schedule wherever you can.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of talk about, okay, they open USC with LSU, neutral site, then
Feinbaum had him buried. Yeah.
Feinbaum had him buried.
Yep.
Then you play Utah State, fine, whatever. But then you go to Michigan, big house, their house. SC could be 1-2. You start wondering, okay, can they handle this time in the Big Ten? Like Lincoln Riley's job security, all that stuff. Very quickly, this has turned into USC could be 3-0 in the Big Ten. Can Michigan, even at home, handle USC?
What a statement that would be if USC goes to the big house and not only wins, wipes the floor with them.
That would be massive.
Wipes the. I mean, think of all you Big Ten honks, you purists out there.
It would be the USC's first game in the Big Ten.
Yes, I know, and it could happen. We said this earlier. Watch out for USC's defense, much improved. I don't think people thought they would be this much improved, but
they're way more physical. They
way
make
more
the tackles they need to make.
Yes, they're a hitting football team again. That's the thing that was lost at USC. They just forgot the art of tackling and being physical, and it's back now.
Quite possibly, they've already played the best quarterback they're going to face.
You think? Yeah.
They faced the LSU quarterback, who is very talented, and they reduced him to being less than he is supposed to be. So I think they might have already faced the best quarterback they
But dang, man, you told the media before you told your team that we're changing quarterbacks. That's bad. That's how you lose a locker room.
That is not.
Yeah, that's no bueno.
Well, actually, this is where you really know things would be bad. It's one thing if some of the players didn't know. If you told the media before you told both quarterbacks, that would be a real sign of things going badly.
I'm assuming that's what happened if you told the media before you told your team.
Well,
I
it depends.
I would hope you at least told the starter.
Well, I was going to say some players may not be aware of everything going on, depending on who you ask. Like, I don't know.
Every team I've been on, when there is a quarterback change or anything dramatic, we get called into a meeting. The head coach goes to the podium, looks everyone in the eye, and tells you exactly what's going to happen and why he did it. We're going to sit down Tony Banks. We're going to let Kurt Warner start this football game because we think Kurt has earned it. We think we have a better chance to win. It's not anything against that kid, the one we're benching. It's more about us and what we can do. That's coach speak, basically. But that's how you handle it. And then you tell the media.
Well,
because when you don't, you tell the media first, they start running to their players into the locker. Hey, did you know? And they're all shocked by it.
Especially, too, you're talking about, NIL professionals, but they are still young guys who have not done this before. They don't know how to spin the way pros do.
And he may have just told you, the head coach may have just told his team, we're going to support our guy. It's not the quarterback's fault. So that's your mindset. And then the media says there's been a quarterback switch. Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know anything about it.
Last I heard, we were supporting our guy.
Yeah, you start to doubt your leadership, and that's a bad way to go early in a football season.
Well, if nothing else, though, very, very good for USC. Very opportunistic chance for them out there. Let's see if they can capitalize on it. Some breaking Rams news? Is that what we got coming up?
Yep.
Something else broke?
Something.
What?
All right, so let's just do it here. So the Rams are placing Jonah Jackson.
Aye.
And they are placing John Johnson on IR, but not Cooper Kupp.
Good. Cooper has a chance to come back. I know scapulas need time to recover. And I saw JJ during the game. He was in one moment, the next he's out, and he couldn't move his arm. So, yeah, that's sad. That's two great guys you need, especially this week.
I was going to say, we now know who is on the IR, who is not on the IR. What does all this mean coming up against the Niners? We'll get into that. Travis and DeMarco, 710 ESPN.
Tonight at BMO Stadium, a massive midweek showdown with Austin. Calling all tradespeople, maintenance, and facilities pros. DeWalt is hooking up you and a teammate with 2 tickets to the Rams home opener versus the San Francisco 49ers on Sunday the 22nd, plus a new DeWalt Tough System 2.0 DXL workstation. Just snap a pic of you and your team working hard on the job site and post it on @ESPN Los Angeles Facebook and Instagram with hashtag #MyDeWaltToughTeam. One lucky fan will score 2 tickets to the Rams vs 49ers and a new DeWalt Tough System 2.0 DXL workstation. Visit ESPNLA.com for details.
A teacher, a coach, a good Samaritan, a youngster who brightens your day. Tell us who's smiling and you could win some awesome prizes like sweet tickets from ESPN LA, Sonic Care electric toothbrushes, whitening treatment, and a grand prize of Invisalign from Beverly Hills Ortho. Enter now at ESPNLA.com and remember you're always smiling at Beverly Hills Orthodontics.
Take a sip of sunshine this season with Milagro Tequila. What's up, guys? It's D-Far. Milagro Tequila is made from 100% blue agave, crafted for bright flavor and exceptional smoothness. Enjoy the freshest margaritas with Milagro Silver, mix up some palomas with Reposado, or simply sip Milagro Añejo on the rocks. Milagro at your favorite retailer, in stores, and online. Welcome to the brighter side of tequila. Milagro Tequila. Must be 21 and over. Please enjoy responsibly.
Calling all tradespeople, maintenance, and facilities pros. DeWalt is hooking up you and a teammate with 2 tickets to the Rams home opener versus the San Francisco 49ers on Sunday the 22nd, plus a new DeWalt Tough System 2.0 DXL workstation. Just snap a pic of you and your team working hard on the job site and post it on @ESPN Los Angeles Facebook and Instagram with hashtag #MyDeWaltToughTeam. One lucky fan will score 2 tickets to the Rams vs 49ers and a new DeWalt Tough System 2.0 DXL workstation. Visit ESPNLA.com for details.
Hey football fans, with BetMGM's second chance promotion, you'll get your stake back if your first touchdown scorer scores second.
BetMGM and GameSense are money to gamble responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. This U.S. promotional offer not available in Mississippi, Nevada, Ontario, or Puerto Rico. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. For New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. For Arizona, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. For Massachusetts, 1-800-327-5050. For Iowa, 1-800-BETS-OFF. For Puerto Rico, 1-800-981-0023. Subject to eligibility requirements. Partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
At the Home Depot, we know Saturdays are for college football. That's why we have everything you need to never miss a play. Like North America's #1 home fire safety brand, Kidda. Because on a day full of football sounds you love, like fight songs, roaring crowds, and your favorite commentators...
like me, Kirk Herbstreit.
The last sound you want to hear is... Defend your game time with Kidda and the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Based on total household installations as of December 2023.
This is the Travis and DeMarco Show.
Now weekdays 9 a.m. to noon on LA's mega sports station.
710 ESPN.
Just so fresh and so fresh and so clean. Emily, do you know this song?
Yes, I was singing it along with you guys.
I thought that was Jorge.
No, I was singing the fresh and clean.
Oh,
I was
there
singing
we
that
go.
part.
Yeah, come on.
Have you heard
the newest one?
The Andre 3000 flute album?
No,
I
not yet.
love it. I love it. He's really into flute. Like I didn't realize he's a flautist.
Oh, he's playing the flute? I thought it was just the name of the album.
No,
he's
no,
really playing the flute.
He's really playing the flute. It's like very out there, kind of atmospheric,
Outcast?
jazzy.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
I'm
There's
just
no
kidding.
hip hop at all.
Yeah.
I love it. I
gotta
really,
dig it.
really love it.
I'll dig it on the way home. Have you heard it? Anybody? The flute?
No.
I want to check that out.
Is
yeah.
it like when Ron Burgundy was doing the jazz flute?
The jazz
it's
flute.
much more
Aqualung.
Lizzo will also twerk while she's doing the flute because she's also a flautist as well.
A flautist.
Yes,
A
that's what it's
flautist.
called.
Flautist. I'm a flautist.
Not a flutie.
With an air fryer.
Flautist.
Down to flute.
I am down to flute.
Hey now.
All right. So IR for the
Transitioning very awkwardly. The Rams have put Jonah Jackson and John Johnson on the IR, but Cooper Kupp is, for the time being, not on the IR.
Not helping.
I was going to say he is not likely to be on the field this Sunday. I'm guessing. This is purely
I
speculation.
mean, he might. You never know.
You never know, but
Yeah.
generally speaking, you don't go from possibly on IR to playing on Sunday.
Look, even for Cooper Kupp, who is the most chill guy in the world, the pressure starts to mount, especially when you're making $29 million.
And you're 31 years old.
And you get hurt. You're gonna see it somewhere that people are like, oh, he's hurt again. He may not be here next year. The pressure will start to mount. And the team needs you. So he wouldn't be the first guy that went out there less than 100%, just trying to give his team what he can give them. Because it is the Niners coming to town, and they're going to need you. But Jonah Jackson, that is so heartbreaking for me. Big-time free agent guard from Detroit. The reason they liked him so much is he went nose-to-nose with Aaron and gave Aaron some problems, or at least the most you can give Aaron problems. So he added the toughness, the to the offensive line. You pair him with Kevin Dotson, you thought you had something, and then he's out. That's just a shame. And when the toughest, roughest team in your division is coming to town in your home opener, and you don't have one of your roughest, toughest guards out there to protect Kyron Williams and your quarterback, that's kind of depressing, at least for the time being.
Yeah, I'm looking right now to see more info. I'm looking right now. Jordan Rodriguez covers the Rams for The Athletic. One
Fantastic
of the best.
job.
She is so good.
Emily, have you met Jordan yet?
Yeah, no, me and her talk.
Oh, you do? She's awesome.
Jordan's
fantastic.
Great. She's great at covering the Rams. She's also just a really fun person to talk to.
Yes.
But I'm looking at her timeline right now, noting that Jackson and Johnson are on IR, but not Kupp. While that seems like a positive sign, I would caution against reading too much into possible timeline. Rams running out of future return designations.
Correct.
At least it shows that the injury to Kupp is not season-ending. We should know more about a timeline after updates from McVay today, by the way. Just reminding folks how stretched they are at IR return spots and corresponding math and navigation. McVay said as much on this point Monday. So
terrible.
In other words, Kupp could be out a while also.
Yes.
'Cause remember, this was initially reported as something that could keep him out for weeks. Unless he's recovered incredibly or misdiagnosed might be the wrong way of putting it, too strong, but they're getting different information a day or so later. I'm guessing Kupp's still going to be out a couple weeks anyway.
Okay, it's probably something like, I'm just reading between the lines. So it's not something that's broken. There's no bone that's broken, and there's nothing that's torn. So this is just pain management. So it's, can we get the swelling under control, and can we get him out there to where he's not having that pain reflex? Because that's the problem. When you have that shooting pain, you stop, you're not running properly, and that's how you hurt other things, right? So how much can he take, and when can you get him out there? So that's the thing. But like I said, the pressure is going to start to mount, even on guys like him, because you're going to start to look at his paycheck, and you're going to start to look at, this is the third season in a row that he's missed time. And you're going to say, wow, is this really worth it?
Well, you also start looking at, and this gets back to the conversation we were having about Bryce Young earlier, you start thinking about how much longer is this window for the Rams as we know them, like with Matt Stafford, with Cooper Kupp. Aaron Donald is obviously now gone. Like, you start just thinking about how much longer can we do this in its present form. We've already seen the defense is being revamped much younger.
Probably a year, year, maybe two. And that's sad because, like, this era could be over. But McVay, I assume, will still be here, so the window is still open. But your players are going to change.
But the window for the way things look right now.
Probably a year or two.
Yeah, I mean, McVay could still be around for some type of rebuild. Like,
I'm not reboot.
I'm not saying he's going to be gone. I'm not saying that the Rams are going to be lost in the wilderness for 10 years.
No, I know what you mean. Just this current group of guys, and AD is already retired. So it happens. They cycle out. But the cool thing about it, if you think maybe a year or two, with this current group, like you said, the window shutting. The cool thing is San Francisco's in that same timeline. They got to win now, or next year you're not going to have some of these guys. With the money you're throwing around, you've got how much is your left tackle making, and a receiver, and then Debo, and then you got to play Purdy. You got to pay
just
Purdy.
Got that contract.
You've got Fred Warner, who's making a ton of dough. Bosa's making money. Yeah, this team is going to look completely different in a year or two.
You know what I was thinking about, too? Not that I think even players, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think even players in the league don't root for other guys to get injured, to get hurt, just because everybody knows what it takes to maintain in the NFL.
Yeah.
But this type of development with...
There are some guys you kind of don't mind seeing get knocked silly.
You're not rooting for it. You're just not necessarily sending him a card.
I like the dude, the Netflix Debo or Netflix receiver show. I have a whole new appreciation for Debo and George Kittle. But seeing Debo get hit here in the NFC Championship game, that did make me smile. It really made me smile.
That was by Nick Young, right, I think?
Yes.
Yeah.
It really, really made me smile.
But also, Debo said that, it's now or never.
It is. This is their time.
Well, now or never, potentially for the Niners. You wonder if the Rams are closer to never than now, just given where things are for this team with health. You suddenly start thinking about, like, the Cardinals. Like, are they poised to suddenly flip the division? Because they've got a lot of younger players. They've got a new coach in that clearly is clicking with
Gannon
his
had
team.
him going.
Yes.
Yeah, he did.
So
that's side-eye to Arizona, right? So you beat the tar out of the Rams. You absolutely wiped the floor with them. Credit to you. Tip of the cap. So be it. Move on. But side-eye for next week. Let me see if you look like that next week.
Sure.
Because that is a rivalry. You got sick of the Rams beating you. So that's the way you played. They played harder than the Rams did. So let's see if you carry that through into week 3.
Look, the Cardinals are a perpetual organization of looking hot for a while.
Yeah.
Especially in the Kyler Murray era. They've looked hot for a 4 or 5 game stretch, then miserable offense because Kyler Murray gets hurt.
Yeah.
Remember last year?
Aaron shows up,
right.
and then Kyler looks different.
But the last 4 or 5 games of last season when Murray came back, the Cardinals looked legitimately good.
Oh, no doubt. That's the thing. I've never seen such a pronounced difference in a guy. And I kid you not, every time Kyler Murray was on the same field as Aaron, he looked scared.
Well, he said, thank God that guy retired.
Right. He looked scared, like a scared quarterback. When Aaron's not out there, you see how confident he looked? I mean, holding the football for 9-10 seconds, buying time off schedule. You can't cover that long in the National Football League.
The other thing, too, is, like, as great as some of the other defensive linemen around the league, even in their division, like, There are a lot of great ones. None of them are Aaron Donald. Like,
No.
Aaron Donald is a different, specific, singular level of greatness.
Yes. Who brought up Joe Mixon yesterday? Why were we talking about Joe Mixon? He came up. Just as somebody brought up Joe Mixon, we were talking about Cincinnati, whatever. But I just saw a podcast he was on, and they asked him, who's the best defensive player you ever saw? And he said, Aaron. Like, it's universal. So without that guy, you're going to see a difference in every team you play. The problem is San Francisco's coming. And with Aaron, they didn't care. Now, without Aaron, how do they feel about playing the Rams?
Yeah, there's a lot happening right now in the NFC West. Little hot and cold that is coming up next. Travis and DeMarco Show. Andy in for Travis, 710 ESPN.
The new fall. Hey football fans, there is nothing sweeter than a cold glass of Stella Rosa and watching your team compete. But Stella Rosa wants to make it even sweeter and hook you up with the chance to win an experience to the biggest game of the college football season. You could win 2 tickets to the game, airfare, and a hotel for you and a friend. Head over to ESPNLADreamTicket.com to enter the Dream Ticket Sweepstakes presented by Stella Rosa, America's favorite semi-sweet, semi-sparkling wine. Please celebrate responsibly. Must be 21 or older to enter.
Calling all tradespeople, maintenance, and facilities pros. DeWalt is hooking up you and a teammate with 2 tickets to the Rams home opener versus the San Francisco 49ers on Sunday the 22nd, plus a new DeWalt Tough System 2.0 DXL workstation. Just snap a pic of you and your team working hard on the job site and post it on @ESPN Los Angeles Facebook and Instagram with hashtag #MyDeWaltToughTeam. One lucky fan will score 2 tickets to the Rams vs 49ers and a new DeWalt Tough System 2.0 DXL workstation. Visit ESPNLA.com for details.
Tears. Oh. Okay, so like everybody deals with losing, right? To a rival on a last-second field goal. Whatever, it's fine. I'm totally fine. But I cope with losing with an ice-cold Dr. Pepper. Those 23 flavors are like so delicious. They totally wash away the pain of your college football team taking a big fat L. College football. It's a pepper thing.
And yes, welcome to the Travis and DeMarco Show, now mornings 9 a.m. to noon on 710 ESPN, your destination for LA sports. Let's get back to the fellas. The Travis and DeMarco Show continues right now. As you know, we've welcomed the new partner here at 710 ESPN, NextGen. NextGen, the official AC, heat, and plumbing company of SoCal sports fans.
You're as cold as ice.
Call 833-3-NEXTGEN, NEXGEN, or visit nextgenairandplumbing.com. Time for our feature we do 3 days a week. Who's hot? Who's cold? Thanks to NextGen. Boy, time for Who's Hot? Who's Cold? Take it away, Producer M.
All right. Who's Hot is starting 5. So Netflix is having put out the trailer for the Starting 5 documentary that will be on Netflix coming next month, and it follows Jason Tatum, LeBron James,
Anthony Edwards, Domantas Sabonis, and
Jimmy Butler. Through
They call
last year's season.
Edwards Ant, right?
Ant.
Yeah.
Ant-Man.
Mr. Duncanstein.
Through last year's season, okay? And so trailer looks pretty much similar to what the quarterback and receiver kind of follows these players on and off the court. Are you excited about starting five?
Super excited. I'm glad Michael Thompson's here. I'm excited to see this. Like they had on Netflix, they had the quarterback series when you met Mahomes and you met Kirk Cousins and you met Mariota. Then they had the receivers where you met Amon-Ra St. Brown and Debo and Kirk. You get to see what they're like off the Devontae Adams. What they're like off the field. They're doing one for basketball.
Is Anthony Edwards in it?
Yes,
he is.
I just like to see him. I just want to see somebody sit him down and educate him on basketball in the 80s. Because you heard what he said about the 80s, right? Michael Jordan was the only skilled player in the league. So
no, he said the 90s, I believe.
I don't care. He said the 80s.
I don't care.
I don't know what else he does. So somebody needs to sit him down and teach him the history of basketball.
Go ahead.
That was ridiculous.
Pretend I'm him. Go ahead. Teach me.
Okay, Anthony Edwards. Have you ever heard of Isaiah Thomas?
I have, sir.
Have you ever heard of Dominique Wilkins?
Yes, I have,
Have you ever heard of Gus Williams?
Yes.
Wait,
no, I haven't. Who's Gus Williams?
All right. Anthony Edwards, have you ever heard of George Gervin?
I have. The Iceman.
No, apparently obviously you don't.
Oh, I don't?
You haven't.
Why?
Because you made the stupidest comment I've ever heard since J.J. Redick said...
You're calling me stupid?
Yes. Yes, you are. I'm afraid so. Learn the history, son, before you comment on the NBA and the history of the NBA.
See, I wish. I'm interested. I can't wait to see this.
That's like saying Jim Brown didn't play against anybody.
That's crazy.
Would you accept that as an NFL player?
Absolutely not.
Then.
No, I would not. I would not accept that. Jim Brown was the best of his era.
That's right.
No
Well,
doubt.
Mike Singletary wasn't that tough because you didn't have to guard have to tackle Eric
the
Dickerson.
Samurai was the best of his era. Absolutely. Who else is in this thing? Jason Tatum?
So Jason Tatum, LeBron James, Domantas Sabonis, Jimmy Butler.
LeBron, I think I know everything about.
Mm-hmm.
LeBron, I mean,
well, then maybe
I might fast forward through that part.
Maybe they're going to start pursuing. No, you got this new thing with Bronny coming in now, and then he's pursuing ownership in Las Vegas. So
as soon as you said Bronny, now I really want to fast forward through it. I'm just
really?
Come on. We've
if
talked about it.
If you had little DeMarco going to line up next to you on the line, wouldn't you want people to see it?
I would be excited. I'm tired of talking about it. I think we've talked everything. We've said everything about it.
You're getting to right now, at least based off the trailer to this show, my reaction to it, which was I don't feel like I'm seeing anything that I have not already seen or that these players haven't let me see.
I don't know Anthony Edwards. I can't wait to meet him. And Jason Tatum, maybe it's a chance for him to kind of rehab his image.
Well, here's the problem, though.
What's wrong with his image?
He seems kind of like wet bread.
How so?
It just seems kind of boring.
You're talking about the Olympics thing?
He's an NBA champion and a
bread
gold
or is he
medalist.
a wet blanket?
Wet bread.
Wet bread.
Milk toast.
Really?
That's what I was trying to get
Here's
to.
Here's the problem. About one of the top 10 players in the game?
I no doubt about his talent. I'm just talking about like his persona, his aura. It just
you want to see him in the club?
No, not at all.
He's a little bit beta. Is that what you're trying to say?
No, I'm not. I don't even know what that means. What does beta mean?
As opposed to an alpha, like a personality. Personality.
Anthony Edwards is an alpha.
He's an extreme alpha.
He's a Hall of Famer, going to be. He's a great father, it seems to be, and he's an NBA champion, gold medalist, and you go.
I remember he went to school with what's his name? They were all in St. Louis at the same time. Jason Tatum, the hockey player. Kachuk.
Kachuk.
Yeah. But no, it just seems like he's a little boring.
Really?
So did Kirk Cousins until I watched quarterback, and I'm like, I appreciate you. I see what you're about, and I like you now.
You like the Dennis Rodman types, dressing up like RuPaul.
I got to admit, I did. I bought the book. I did. I liked everything about Rodman except his hygiene.
Hanging out with Kim Jong-un over there in North Korea.
Not except that.
Hey,
but going to a club
somebody has to solve the world's problems,
yes.
Michael.
That's right.
Yes.
Dennis says he can if you give him a chance.
So it's cold, though. It's Tupperware, guys. Tupperware Brands Corporation has, and its subsidiaries have filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection on Tuesday. This is likely a way to protect themselves, protect their finances. Doesn't mean they're going to go out of business necessarily, but it is a day in which they are filing for bankruptcy. So have you ever been to a Tupperware party? Has your mom ever been to a Tupperware party? Do you own Tupperware in your home?
Never been to a Tupperware party myself. No idea if my mom's ever been to one. I thought the answer was going to be yes, that we own Tupperware, but then we discovered in the pre-show meeting going through DeMarco's different containers, they were all everything but Tupperware.
Yes.
Like,
but we
I
call
have
them
no Tupperware.
But we call them all Tupperware like it's Kleenex.
Like Scotch tape.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. These different off-brands they've
Rubbermaid.
taken over, and they've apparently put Tupperware into bankruptcy.
Because
That's
Tupperware
too bad.
is too expensive and it's too much. But that's why they needed those.
Tupperware?
Oh yeah, who doesn't?
Like like actual Tupperware.
Yeah, I
not
got all that stuff.
Not containers. Like you actually have Tupperware.
Yeah. Who doesn't?
I'm not sure if I
Like
have.
show him yours and
See, look,
Mr. 1%er over here with his
See why are they
Tupperware.
expensive?
This is
What's that?
Rubbermaid.
Well, I've got some Tupperware. I got that too.
See, I don't think I actually have any Tupperware in my house.
Michael breaks out the Tupperware
Yeah.
for the fancy guests.
This is This is Gladware.
Right.
I got a bunch of containers, but I don't think I actually have the brand Tupperware. So I think I'm the one that helped run
I'm
them out
pretty
of business.
positive now that I think about it that we own no proper Tupperware. I don't
right.
think we do.
No.
How about the hack I gave you?
The hack. Did you hear this hack? This is amazing. Tell them the hack. Go ahead.
So you know your butter containers, whatever, peanut butter jars, and
butter,
yogurt
yeah.
jars, whatever. If you wash those and you have a party, you don't have to give away your cool stuff like your containers.
Oh, yeah.
You put everything in those containers. You hand it off to your party attendants, and then they take off.
that a great hack?
Yeah, but they taste like peanut butter.
No. But you have to wash it off. You have to wash it
You
off.
never can get it all the way out. Maybe I'm using the wrong dish soap.
That's a great hack, though. Yeah. Let them throw it away, right? Yeah.
Exactly.
That's a good idea. Is that what you do in the Briones household?
No, not us, but my in-laws. She
My
does
grandma does it.
because Brenda
Does she?
doesn't
Who did
return
it?
the
Okay.
Tupperware.
I hate returning dishes, don't you? Like from parties, and they give you the good stuff. You got to bring it back to their house empty. It's crazy. I hate that stuff.
Yeah,
It's it's a glass slipper in Cinderella. They
It's a
wouldn't give it
great
back.
way to give your guests what they want to take home, but also get that thing out of your house.
Right.
Like all of a sudden that butter tub becomes their
Their
responsibility,
problem. Yes.
not yours.
You dump it. Yes, absolutely. I like Jason Tatum. Don't think I don't like Jason
don't
Tatum.
sound like it.
I do. I just said I want to learn. Know more. You can't tell me that guy when he speaks to the media makes you go, "Wow, he's so interesting."
He's all right.
Exactly. See?
Would you want him to say something outlandish? Like, I'm going to kick somebody's bust. Like, I can't wait to see LeBron. I'm going to stomp
At
on him.
least
Is that
be
what you want to say?
original. Didn't he steal Kevin Garnett's championship celebration?
Anything is possible.
Something like
Stole
that.
everybody's.
Yeah.
He stole everybody.
He
He stole
it was
everything.
like-
That's
it
what I'm
was like
saying.
He did basically your Rubbermaid version of the.
Yes,
Anything
he is my Tupperware. Yes.
Maybe he was paid by Disney to say it.
What?
Why would
Anything's possible?
Because that's a Disney kind of thing.
Is that
No,
Disney?
that's
Yeah.
that's not. That's the Disney thing is I'm going to Disney World, which people
Yeah.
were paid to do.
I don't think anybody doubts his talent. I would love to have the guy. Absolutely.
It's just
Actually,
boring to you.
it's funny you say that. And by the way, Who's Hot, Who's Cold brought to you by Next Gen, the official AC heat and plumbing company of SoCal sports fans. Call 8333-NEXT-GEN or visit nextgenairandplumbing.com. Jason Tatum is actually a highly debated. Where does he land in the top 10, top 15? Is he top 5?
Ooh.
He gets debated a lot.
A lot, yeah.
Yeah, I know who you sounded like just now.
Who?
Cheryl Swoops.
No, come on. That's hate. That's hate. I'm not hating on the guy. I loved it. Would he fit with the Lakers? Jason Tatum, right now.
I think he pretty much fits with anyone.
With anybody?
I kind of think so, yeah.
I'm just saying, yeah, I wouldn't hate. I don't hate on the guy. I just I wish you were more interesting.
I can tell you right now,
when you
every
spoke.
single Laker fan who loves to clown on Jason Tatum for not winning Finals MVP or the amount of minutes he didn't get in the Olympics
would love to have him.
If he became a Laker, we got a top 5 guy, baby.
Love to have him, no doubt. You
Yeah.
called me Cheryl Swoops. How dare you?
The way you were hating on him.
I'm not hating on Jason Tatum. I said he's fantastic. She is hating on Caitlin Clark.
Ooh,
though.
man, what did Caitlin do to this
I
woman?
top her records, I guess.
No, besides, Caitlin must have cost us some money or something.
I was my first wife. I was dating a girl in college, and they had to play Cheryl Swoops, and she put 44 on her in the tournament. Man, that was horrible. That was terrible. So yes, I like Cheryl Swoops, but dang, she seems to hate Caitlin Clark. Yes,
Sure does.
I mean, I don't want to frame this like it's jealousy because I think that's too petty without knowing Cheryl Swoops. But I wonder for some of these women who were legitimate,
what is she protecting? Yeah,
like they were legitimately great at a time when the league
wasn't
what it is.
Yeah. No, nobody
now.
cares. Nobody watched except me.
Right.
You watched back then?
Oh, yeah, I watched.
Yeah,
But
okay.
like,
I was the only
okay,
one.
To put this in perspective, just like how much the WNBA has changed. I remember when I first started doing work for ESPN, the magazine, just like stringer stuff, going to different events, whatever. I went to a WNBA game because they wanted me to ask a bunch of WNBA players different stuff. And they wanted me, if possible, to get the biggest players on the Sparks. I think Lisa Leslie was one of them.
Oh, yeah.
So I asked if Lisa was available, and I was told she's in the trainer's room. I'm like, okay, whatever, I'll wait. That's fine. And they're like, no, you can go in there. Go ahead, you can ask her. I'm like, I can go in the trainer's room to interview a player?
Wow.
I'm thinking in my head, this is beneath her.
Yeah, plus, all the women kind of undressed.
No, they were all dressed. Like, they were fine. I think
well, in the locker room. Well, no, you're half dressed and they're women.
I think they.
I'm not trying to be dirty or anything, but you would think.
No, I think they were aware of what she was wearing or whatever. But I'm just like, no, I should not be allowed in the trainers room.
You would
That's
not be able to do that with LeBron.
But at the time, But at the time, the WNBA was like, anything coverage we can get.
Yes.
We are not going to risk the chance of you not getting copy from Lisa Leslie.
Michael, I trust you. Can she ball, Caitlin Clark?
Man, listen to me.
Is she the best in the league?
Let me put it this way.
Yeah.
She is the MVP, but they will never dare give it to her.
Because?
So much anti.
You don't think she's going to win?
The MVP? Yeah. No possible way.
Oh, MVP. I'm sorry.
She definitely. Rookie of the year. Rookie this. Please, that was over from day one.
That's hers.
From day one.
Okay.
But believe me, listen. When you factor in most valuable player and what it means, her play on the court merits it alone. She took that team from nobody cared to the most watched team in WNBA history. They are now a solid playoff team and a threat to whoever the number 3 seed is. I think it's Connecticut Sun. I saw closely. I follow this stuff.
They are. Sun is 3 seed.
The Sun, right?
Mm-hmm.
She is the best guard in the league already. She's first team all WNBA, which she will be or she is. Her value to that franchise and to that league is nothing that this league has ever seen. Let me put it this way: if you were getting an expansion team and DeMarco Farr is the owner, and everybody was available for you to draft, everybody. No, even though that's not how the rule works.
My first pick.
Your first pick. Who you picking?
Probably Caitlin Clark.
There you go. She is the most valuable player in the WNBA. She has taken this league to heights they didn't even dream of.
Because I can make money and I can win.
Is it overstating it, Michael, to say that she is the equivalent of, in the 80s, what Magic and Bird were to saving the NBA?
Exactly. Even though we had Dr. J and Moses and Kareem and other great, but Magic and Bird took the league to another level.
And they have Reese and Clark.
Huh? No, Reese ain't got nothing to do with this.
Saying,
no, not even close.
Is having a lot of.
No, people throw Reese into this. No,
Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark.
She has a lot of pub around her, and so you can compare it to Caitlin Clark in that way.
When Caitlin goes to an arena at 17, it's sold out 19,000. When Reese comes to crypto, 10,000.
It is what it is.
It ain't the same.
But it's
not
even
close.
Getting people to watch this.
Yeah, no,
Cheryl Swoops was coming after you. Cheryl Swoops was coming for you.
Oh yeah.
So you would go Clark over Asia Wilson
easily. I don't know. I don't even. How would anybody take Asia when you draft Caitlin Clark? You immediately sell out. You're getting all. You're
you're defining value over
everything,
encompassing,
and her play on the court merits it too.
Sure. But
she's been phenomenal this year.
You're talking about most valuable player, not just to the team but to the league.
Michael Jordan was most valuable on the court and to
the
off
league. The court. Wow.
And she is exactly the same thing she's meant to this WNBA, and people don't want to give it to her because of jealousy, envy, pettiness.
In defense of some of these players, it's like, why care now? Why are you caring now when our league has been great for all this time?
No,
it's like, why do you care now?
I've been a WNBA fan. It's been an interesting league. Women can play, but she is, because of her, the game has gone to a whole nother level.
Has the game turned a profit? Yeah.
No, they're still going to lose millions.
Still losing millions, even with Caitlin Clark.
Here's where I think. Based on what I've been told over the years, the league had been moving in this direction in terms of it was getting more attention.
They lost $50 million last year.
Sure, but they were starting to sell more tickets.
1-5 or 5-0? 5-0. Wow.
It was moving in this direction. Caitlin Clark then just accelerated it in ways that they had never planned on before.
So you're losing less money.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I mean, look, you eventually get to a place where, I mean, the TV deal they just got shows some confidence that the WNBA may have finally arrived.
And it'll get better next year because Paige Backus is coming in. You got Juju Watkins.
Yeah.
I don't think she's eligible next year, right? She has 2 more years.
She was a freshman last year.
They should just waive that stupid rule and let her come in.
The truth is, it took the NBA decades before it finally took off. Like, these things tend to take a while.
This is true. Whatever is good for the league should be.
They've been in business
good
27
for
years.
Yeah.
That's enough sample size.
Yeah.
But she has taken it. She's done to this league what Magic and Bird did. And, of course, then Jordan and Kobe took it even higher. Right. And LeBron.
Coming up next, The Dump, Travis and DeMarco Show, 710 ESPN.
Calling all tradespeople, maintenance, and facilities pros. DeWalt is hooking up you and a teammate with 2 tickets to the Rams home opener versus the San Francisco 49ers on Sunday the 22nd, plus a new DeWalt Tough System 2.0 DXL workstation. Just snap a pic of you and your team working hard on the job site and post it on @ESPN Los Angeles Facebook and Instagram with hashtag #MyDeWaltToughTeam. One lucky fan will score 2 tickets to the Rams vs 49ers and a new DeWalt Tough System 2.0 DXL workstation. Visit ESPNLA.com for details.
The Los Angeles Rams are 0-2 with the arch rival San Francisco 49ers coming to SoFi Stadium for the 2024 home opener in Week 3. The Rams will have to continue to make do without Puka Nacua, who is on the IR for at least the next 3 games. And the big question is, what is the status of Cooper Kupp after missing the second half with an ankle injury against Arizona? And if he is unavailable or even just limited, can the wide receiver room step up in his potential absence? Can Demarcus Robinson, Tyler Johnson, Tutu Atwell, and Jordan Whittington bring enough offense to give the Rams passing attack enough firepower to beat San Francisco? Or perhaps is this a big day on the ground? Kyren Williams, Ronnie Rivers, and Blake Corum may be combining for 30 or more carries on Sunday. I'm Travis Rogers.
That's today's Rams Report on your home of Rams football, 710 ESPN.
When pain keeps you from doing what you love, Hoag Orthopedic Institute gets you back to you. We are ranked number 18 in the nation and number 1 in Orange County for orthopedic and spine care by U.S. News and World Report. From the surf to the green, our world-class doctors are there, which is why more Californians choose Hoag Orthopedic Institute for orthopedic and spine care more than any other hospital. At Hoag Orthopedic Institute, there is no one better at getting you back to you. Proudly founded by premier physicians in partnership with Hoag. Learn more at HoagOrthopedicInstitute.com.
Warning, the following ZipRecruiter radio spot you are about to hear is going to be filled with F-words.
When you're hiring, we at ZipRecruiter know you can feel frustrated, forlorn even, like your efforts are futile, and you can spend a fortune trying to find fabulous people, only to get flooded with candidates who are just fine. Fortunately, ZipRecruiter figured out how to fix all of that. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, you can forget your frustrations because we find the right people for your roles fast, which is our absolute favorite F word. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day.
Fantastic.
So, whether you need to hire 4, 40, or 400 people, get ready to meet first-rate talent. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. Don't forget, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. Finally, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
It's time for everything we haven't gotten to today. Yes, it's time for the dump.
All right, so we begin the dump with today would have been the 51st birthday. Is this correct?
51?
51st birthday. No, sorry, 61st. That
Okay.
is a typo, or I misread it.
Who is it?
Would have been the... Sorry, I got to redo my
63,
math.
man.
63.
63, man.
Sorry, I was reading the Wikipedia
Michael
entry.
Jackson? Is it
He
Michael
died at 51. It would have been the 63rd birthday of James Gandolfini.
Tony Soprano. My
James Gandolfini would have been 63.
I
today.
saw
That
it.
doc that came out.
I
and you
just saw it.
You
Yes.
saw how much like The Sopranos aged him, how it changed him as a person. Like before James Gandolfini, and even during, he was just this like lovable guy. He was an actor, and but acting out Tony Soprano brought out a side of him that he probably just didn't know was there and didn't love that it was there.
But is that really true
The
for
hidden
actors?
Tony.
They when they go method, they can't pull themselves out
And
sometimes.
he wasn't even going method. He's just you have to put yourself in that role for 14 hours every day. You're being stretched thin.
For years.
He also had to say he would like put a rock in his shoe to make sure he's mad. So that when he had to do a match,
that's a lot.
Imagine you have to strangle people as your job.
I could do that.
Yeah, but Emily.
But like the thing is like I know it's their job. I know you can separate it, but after a while, it does get to you.
It does.
You have to go to a dark side.
I'm sorry, but once he became Tony Soprano, I could not see him as anything else.
Anything
in the movie.
else?
When he was
Yeah.
he was in Hunt, wasn't he in Crimson Tide? He was one of the military guys.
Yep.
Every time I saw his picture face, I said, "That's Tony Soprano."
And I think he sees that too, which is why it got to him.
The Last Castle. That's Tony Soprano.
Yeah, I mean, for a guy like James Gandolfini, who began as more of a character actor, doing supporting stuff, like if you see some of his early work, True Romance, he's terrifying.
Did you see The Mexican?
Yeah.
Great role, right?
Great role.
The only
Get Shorty,
time I didn't see him as Tony Soprano.
Get Shorty, he's really funny.
I'm over here.
And for guys like Gandolfini, who
Wait,
are like,
which one?
Get
The
Shorty.
Mexican.
Right, the Mexican. There he is.
There he is.
Wow.
Get him.
For guys who are like serious actors and like care about the craft, like Gandolfini, I'm sure it does get frustrating. The idea of like, not only can I be more, you've seen me be more.
Yeah, that's that Carol O'Connor. when he was doing what was that?
In the Heat of the Night.
In the Heat of the Night.
I just saw Archie Bunker.
Archie Bunker with an accent, with a southern accent. Yes. Edie Falco, the person that played Carmela, said James Gandolfini is in literally every scene.
Yeah.
So he's working every single day. That would take a toll on you.
And I didn't know as much about how much time he missed from work, the kind of issues of showing up to work, and that he also
He
when
had
he got his
substance
new
abuse issues.
Yeah, when he got his new deal.
Don't we all?
Well,
yours?
yes, but there's different levels of substance.
Don't we
substance
all?
abuse.
Yes.
But
What's yours? Ketchup?
Dang. How'd you know?
Yeah, me too.
that he paid all the actors $30,000 when he got his new deal for Edie Falco. But I think it's because she probably was getting paid a lot of money. It's probably everyone down the list that wasn't making as much as Edie and Tony and James were. But it's sad because it's a beloved role and he was fantastic in it. But it's sad to see the toll it takes on him as a person because it seems as if he was a very kind, nice person.
How should The Sopranos have ended?
Just the way it
guys
did.
were really
It was a perfect ending.
Just the way it did.
Perfect.
Emily, what would you have done?
You got to see the this documentary she's talking about when David Chase is talking about the ending.
Yeah.
It
I had
makes
no problem
perfect
with
sense.
the ending.
Really?
I didn't mind the ending.
We're still talking about it 20 years
Yeah,
later.
but how would you have ended it, Emily, if you were writing?
I mean, it would probably been a worse ending. I probably would have given you what you wanted, and then you weren't talking about it 10 years later.
The dude in the members only jacket mows down the room.
Yeah.
That's how. That's how.
By the way,
would,
I completely believe that, and David Chase says no.
Yes, that's what I thought.
By the way, I'm not done with part 2 of the documentary.
Oh.
So does he
it's
talk about the ending?
Yes, you'll see. You'll see.
Yeah,
you'll see.
But I also believe super memorable ending. It was left sort of in the gray area.
Everything doesn't have to end neatly.
No.
You don't have to have
Would you really want the show to end with the entire family getting gunned down in a diner?
Somehow maybe they went into witness protection or something like that. Somehow they got away. But have some closure. There's no closure to this.
That's why we're still talking about it.
The Russian dude from Pine Barrens was going to come back.
Here's
That's
the
what I
thing.
thought.
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
In reality, Michael, there is no closure to a life like that.
No.
I mean, like, you're either dead or you're in prison.
Yes.
But as long as you are not dead or in prison, your life continues like that. Like, there's no certainty, there's no comfort.
Sammy the Bull's doing interviews.
Yeah, this is true.
John Gotti's right
This is true.
Yeah,
You're right.
Yeah,
He's living in Arizona free.
He could have been a media person.
Michael
Tony Soprano,
Franchese,
media
yes.
personality.
He
He could have
could've
written a
been.
book outing the entire
I guess Henry
operation.
Hill had a second life as a Howard Stern guest and whatnot.
But I think Emily makes a good point. The fact that we're still talking about the ending means it was a pretty good ending. Although we're still talking about the ending of Game of Thrones, and Game of Thrones ending was terrible.
And now we hate it.
And the Seinfeld ending.
So
Seinfeld ending, awful. Yeah, it was awful, and then they did it again for Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Yes. Wow.
It's like doubling down on, and it was very funny the second time. It wasn't funny
I
the
thought my
first time.
cable went out.
At the end
Sopranos?
of the yeah.
What happened?
Hand on the door. And,
Yes.
but I do believe the entire family was gunned down in that diner.
That's where you're living. That's
Yeah,
where your head went?
that's where my head is.
I was so mad.
One more quick dump item because I specifically want to ask Michael about this. On this day in 1987, the movie Fatal Attraction came out.
Oh!
Scared straight.
Boil that bunny.
That poor bunny.
Wow.
That's what I wanted to ask, the scared straight part of this.
Yes.
Michael, you were a member of Showtime during the height of the Lakers, the height of the 80s, the height of 80s behavior.
Decade of decadence.
Did Fatal Attraction even sort of scare any of your teammates?
Oh, yeah. They talked about it, of course. Yeah, they definitely talked about it. Every married guy was talking about it back then.
Yeah.
Yes.
About meetings.
You never had a stalker, did you?
Did I? I don't think so.
Yeah,
If they did, they didn't tell me.
That one part where she said, "I will not be ignored." Dan.
Oh yeah, exactly.
You got
where
problems.
she's flicking the lights on
Yeah,
and
you
off.
got problems.
So,
Yeah, you
no,
done messed up.
I got 2 stalkers.
Really?
Yeah, both
Right.
super scary.
Like right now?
Male or female?
No, one was male, one's female.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is back when or now?
Back not now. Not now.
So how did,
I would alert to everybody.
So
if
how
I
did it
was
happen?
being
Like,
stalked.
like they show up at your house? What?
One was let's see. One was a dude I started dating, and he just would not quit. Even when I wanted to, he would not quit.
Wow.
And I mean,
calling you or what? Following you?
Following me.
Whoa. Ooh.
Following me.
That's a problem.
Here's the true story. By the way, Ireland's going to walk in any minute and say, "Oh, 4 people, I'm out." So, fatal attraction, or this was not a fatal attraction, thankfully. But this guy, at one point, I was doing a lot of work in the desert for my theaters, and I would always stay, because I'm a high roller, at the Motel 6. And there are about 6 Motel 6s in the desert. Well, I would stay in a different one each night and check in under a fake name, because I had this guy show up at a Motel 6 one night where I was staying there. So now I'm moving from Motel 6 to Motel 6 to avoid this guy.
Do you remember some of your fake names?
John Ireland.
Mojo Rising.
I do not, but that's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah, John Ireland is an excellent fake name. John Ireland. And then the other one was a woman who we worked with down in San Diego, who I was at a Dodge. She was all over me. And she didn't know, she didn't know at that point I was gay. So she was all over me. And there comes a night where, and she was working for us in the promotions department. There comes a night where we're all going to go to a Dodger game. And I decided, you know what? She's going to be there. I can't go there. She will be. I cannot take it. And Ramon Martinez threw a no-hitter.
Oh wow!
So disappointing.
Was there heavy petting?
I've always wanted to see a no-hitter live, and there it was. What was that, Bergman?
Was there heavy petting?
Heavy petting.
Did you have to drive with looking over your shoulder and walk looking over your shoulder?
With the dude guy, yes. With the woman was less aggressive.
So how did you eventually get rid of him?
Call the cops, I hope.
He disappeared, and I can't even find his name.
Ooh.
I don't even know his name anymore.
Wow.
That's weird. I had a double date with that dude in Ireland and Lisa at the Hollywood Bowl one night, and it's so weird. Have you ever dated somebody whose name you can't not remember? I think I blocked it out of my head.
Yes.
Have you? You have?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Never had a stalker though, but yeah. You don't know where this guy is.
Nope.
That's scary.
Yeah.
Did you call the cops? Get them
I
involved?
did.
You did. Okay.
They were involved.
What if
Yes.
he's listening right now?
he
Is
probably
inspired?
is.
877-710 ESPN. What have you been up to?
And what's your name?
Yeah.
Wow.
By the way, what is your name?
Hey,
Nuts.
Jorge, why don't you hit a little
Super.
ESPN AM 710 Los Angeles. KRDC AM 1110 Pasadena, Los Angeles.
K256CX 99.1 FM Pasadena, Los Angeles.
It's the greatest segment in LA sports radio history.
Oh my God. When the shows come together for magic on the radio.
It will only grow stronger. Super Crosstalk.
Super Crosstalk presented by In-N-Out Burger. In-N-Out. That's what a hamburger is all about.
It's time for Super Crosstalk.
Thank you very much.
I thought I'd just pass that information along to you. I'm
that
sure
dinosaur
you
in Jurassic Park and spit.
I've never seen someone change their microphone in the middle of a show.
Yeah, no, Michael.
Yes.
Michael Mike.
Michael Mike.
It
is your microphone.
My own personal mic.
Just
my own
installed
spit
it.
on it.
Wow. Gross.
No spit.
No spit.
Yeah.
Don't say
Can't
it.
say the same about your
Don't say
microphone.
Let it go.
I'm looking right now. Woj.
Oh, Woj's statement?
Oh, man.
Announced that he is retiring from ESPN. He's going to help run the
His
same.
final Woj bomb was about himself.
Wow.
But this is being right now on an ESPN program. It was being presented.
Star Wars crawl.
Star Wars crawl.
That's funny. Oh, yeah, they're doing it now. There's a crawl.
Star Wars crawl.
Wasn't he making $10 million a year?
I don't know.
That's what I heard. And he's quitting that job?
I was asking him if you had a chance to be Woj.
It is a grind.
You can't turn off your phone. You're
he
always
actually
available.
said in his statement.
It's perfect, right?
He actually said in his statement that it's the lifestyle.
Yeah.
I cannot do this anymore. There's only so much time I have left. I essentially don't want to spend.
How old is he?
I think 55.
55,
like
okay. Yeah.
I don't want to spend the rest of my time just glued to my phone.
Yeah.
And just having to beat Shams or Chris Haynes or whoever on, like his last story, Isaac Okoro.
How does that process work? Like, there's something going on with LeBron, so Woj and Shams call at the same time. It just depends on who picks up the phone first.
Yeah,
basically.
I think
that's it.
Yeah, I think athletes want to leak what they want to do to these insiders. To
Agents
want to
leak.
Create relationships.
General managers want to spin. There's all sorts of fake information that goes out there. Woj sniffed out
to test the waters,
the super fake stuff. But one thing Woj said that I think is he said to your point, and I missed the Star Wars crawl of the statement, but he said, there it is. Time isn't in endless supply, and I want to spend mine in ways that are more personally meaningful.
I like that.
You respect that, don't you?
I do respect that.
Yeah.
You know what? If you're not loving it, what's the point?
I mean,
Exactly.
Look, you've made a decent amount. I mean, not even decent amount. You made a good chunk of change doing this, being like arguably the best in the industry.
Mm-hmm.
I guarantee St. Bonaventure, his paycheck is not going to be
No.
small.
No.
He will be doing just fine, and he gets to do something that it sounds like he's going to actually
He
love.
loves. Yeah. I mean, look, if you get a chance in life to pursue whatever's going to actually make you happy, whatever, follow your bliss is the famous statement. I think who said that, Andy?
The B-52s.
The B-52s, follow your bliss. It wasn't, but okay.
Yeah.
Well, they had a song
did
called
they?
Follow Your Bliss.
Oh,
so,
did they?
Yeah.
I was saying, it's like Joseph Campbell or somebody like that said that.
They were a big fan of Shaquille O'Neal.
The B-52s?
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
Love Shaq.
Love Shack.
I just walked right into that one, didn't I?
Sure did.
Bolo punch.
You haven't been here long enough. I knew exactly where this was going.
When Michael asks a question in that way, there is going to be a punchline. And I put punchline in air quotes.
Exactly.
Well, a punch.
Wow.
Pun.
But that's got to
line.
be exhausting trying to be first with NBA information.
Terrible. And by the way, and then worrying that you're going to be first, or am I going to be second, or is this right, or is this not right?
This is how big a deal it is right now. There's a show right now, I'm guessing Malika Andrews is hosting, and it's got Schefter and Jeff Passan, like all these news
all the
breakers,
insiders. Yeah.
Pete Thamel, they're breaking down what it means in their industry of newsbreakers to have Woj walk away.
Bring back Peter Vesey. I love that
was
guy.
Who was the first insider guy
Peter
you can
Vesey.
remember? Peter Vesey.
Peter Vesey.
I said Chris Mortensen.
No.
Chris Mortensen was good.
Yeah.
No, Vesey was a long
You know who the first one I remember, Michael, it's going back pre you guys, is Irv
Cross.
Mm-hmm. He was on the first Sunday football show I could remember.
The tight end,
Brent Musburger.
Yes. Irv Cross, and who was the girl?
Irv Cross. Phyllis George.
That's right.
Yeah,
Wow.
Phyllis George.
Way back.
Right.
She was really a groundbreaker. She was the first woman that stepped out there and was doing. Now we see women all over the place business, but she was one of the first.
You're talking about like Phyllis George and like that era. None of them did this in the internet age.
No.
Where like it was so incredibly fast. Like I remember before the show started, we were talking about like Jay Glazer has become a newsbreaker in the NFL, but he still isn't one of those guys who has to be first to everything. Like his information, he's not racing against the clock, even though he's like 24/7.
They all have certain
gathering
teams.
intel.
Yeah, they all have certain groups.
Like guys
Diana
like
Rossini.
Yes, they all have certain groups.
Guys like Schefter and Passan and Woj, Shams down the line, they're always racing to be first in an industry that is now so damn fast. That's exhausting.
Let me ask you, Mr. NFL Insider.
Shoot.
If my Ravens lose to the Cowboys and start off 0-3 Sunday, are they done?
That's what the numbers say. The numbers say if you start 0-3, there's like a 4% chance you make the postseason. I know it's
crazy.
but not impossible. It's not impossible. It's just you're against the numbers. Same thing. Yeah,
Going to be tough. Now, I heard you say, first of all, it's very interesting that Cooper Kupp was not put on injured reserve. What do you think that means? Does the injury mean, does it possibly mean he can come back before the bye week?
Yes, it means that you're getting close to that limit of that short-term IR.
Oh, you're saying he may not be on IR just because they ran out of
Short-term,
room
you're
on
running
IR.
out of space, and he's not on IR. That means, to me, there's not a bone that's broken and nothing's torn, which means you can get him back sooner than later.
And even though Emily didn't like the idea, I like what you said about going after Bryce Young.
Oh,
take a shot at
yeah.
No, you don't like his ace?
No.
Take a shot at it.
Oh, yeah.
Not to start.
No. How would you get Bryce Young? Now, there's a trade floating around out there
that's the rumor.
Is this the Rams would trade? It was a 3-way trade, and somehow Miami winds up with Stafford, and the Rams wind up with Bryce Young. I hate that.
Why do you hate it?
We're gonna go. What? We're gonna go from a top 5 quarterback to the worst quarterback.
Oh no, not Matthew Stafford. Not to start.
That's the trade.
Part of the trade is losing Matthew Stafford.
The trade that I saw.
Then I'm out.
Well, but
you
make that deal if you're 6 or 7 weeks
is that what
into
you
the
thought,
season
Emily?
and you're done.
You thought I was trading Stafford for Bryce Young?
No.
Okay, thank
Here's
you.
the one I'm reacting
Yeah.
to. This is from Chase Daniels. I don't think the Dolphins should go after Bryce Young. They should go after Matthew Stafford. 3-team trade. Bryce Young needs to be traded to the Rams for Stafford, going back to the Dolphins in a 3-way trade. Rams get Bryce Young, Sean McVay. They can have Jimmy G starting for a little bit. You're telling me Bryce Young can't be successful in a scheme like Sean McVay's scheme? Absolutely, he can.
I agree with that part of the statement. And if you had to turn it over to Jimmy G, that's not the worst thing in the world. And if you're Miami and you're in need of a quarterback and Tua's gone,
if you're
going after Stafford, it actually makes sense.
If you are proactively turning things over to Jimmy G, you've decided the season's over.
Oh,
yeah.
100%.
If you're trading Stafford, you're saying the season's over.
Well, basically, what you are saying is, Kupp. We know the end is closer than the beginning with Kupp. Like, we are concerned he is never going to be able to stay on the field regularly. We have a finite amount of time to do this with Stafford anyway. We've already lost Aaron Donald. We're changing a lot anyway. Let's just accelerate this process and get it moving.
That's a hard statement to make. Like right now, if you asked Matthew, that would be unfair to ask him. What would be the better situation for you?
Right.
To be here with this team that's banged up, that's having a tough time protecting you, or going to a ready-made spot like Miami.
Right.
With a bunch of weapons and a bunch of receivers, and they're kind of Super Bowl ready now.
So I'm going to make first of all, I think all this stuff is
it's Chase Daniel.
Yeah, it's just Chase Daniel.
Yeah.
But the
He's no
offense,
Woj.
the offensive line is going to be much closer to the opening day offensive line, right?
Jackson's coming
Jackson's back.
Havenstein's back. Dodson's still out there. You're going to have
Limmer's
to replace.
been pretty good. You got to replace left guard, and that's going to be
Jackson.
Logan.
Bruss is going to step
Bruss.
in. Yeah, step in there. He's had a fantastic camp.
Can Young be saved?
So outside of
Bergman keeps quoting me.
What?
Because I said this at the start of the year. I said, if we see Logan Bruss out there, it means we're in big trouble.
But he's kind of recovered.
Has he recovered?
He's recovered from the knee, and he played a lot better. If it wasn't for Jordan Whittington, he would have been the most improved guy in preseason.
All right.
So putting him out there is not as it used to be.
Okay. Is Young damaged goods? Can he be saved?
Yeah,
Bryce Young.
he's actually Bryce. I think he can. Carolina's bad.
Yeah.
They're bad. They're poorly run, and I feel sorry for some of these young quarterbacks that get put through there. I mean, your entire future is stunted because they can't get it right with you.
Can a quarterback just break permanently after being in a situation like that? In other
David,
words,
David Carr was shell-shocked
Houston
after that.
broke him.
Yes, he started seeing ghosts.
Is Bryce Young broke?
No.
He's not.
I think they yanked him before they broke him.
Daniel Jones broke.
I think Daniel Jones is done. I don't think it was good to begin with.
Yeah, I know.
He's gotten
I
even
never
worse.
understood paying Daniel
yeah.
Jones was, I thought, the stupidest thing. You don't
That's
pay
the
good
question with
money
Bryce
after
Young.
an average quarterback.
I don't know if Bryce Young is broke because I don't know if he was ever fixed. Like, we don't actually know if at the NFL level.
He was pretty good in school.
He was pretty good.
But at the
So
NFL
was Stetson Bennett.
Right. At the NFL level, we don't actually know if he was fixed to begin with, as opposed to broken because of Carolina.
I wouldn't mind sending Bryce Young through a McVay.
Oh, I think any quarterback's better. By the way, I think even like Baker Mayfield coming through the McVay roster and the McVay coaching.
Emphasize that enough. You got that guy ready to play in 2 days.
Yeah. And by the way, I think he's better for it.
Yes.
I think that getting
even he says it. I'm better for being here.
Getting in there with McVay, I thought made a huge difference for him. And I think that's one of the reasons why he's become a legit franchise quarterback.
Yes. Has a shot this year.
Yeah.
That would be the worst thing in the world if Baker Mayfield actually won a Super Bowl.
We were talking before about where you are when you begin as a quarterback can matter if the place is bad. Where did Mayfield begin?
Baker Mayfield?
Yeah. Cleveland.
Right.
That's my point.
Rough. I wouldn't want to start there. I wouldn't want to start in New
Cleveland
York.
is where quarterbacks go to die.
I'm rooting so hard for Caleb Williams, but it's going to be hard to make it through
Michael, have you seen the list of quarterbacks they've had since like Bernie Kosar? It's like
it hasn't been good.
It's like 60 quarterbacks. I'm not even exaggerating.
Yeah, it's been a revolving thing there. Yes. Yeah.
It's been awful.
But it's not. I mean, having Bryce Young here under McVay is not. That's not something you go. That's never going to work. Or sending Matthew Stafford to Miami is actually a smart thing for them.
Well, I mean, I'll say this: if it didn't work under McVay, you would know the answer was it's not that Carolina broke him. He just was never fixed at this level.
Goff was almost a bust until McVay got here.
You ever see the backup quarterback to Caleb Williams in Chicago, Badgett? He's pretty good.
Yeah.
What would it take for a team like Miami or Carolina who needs a quarterback to go get him? He's a backup there. What would they take? What would they be interested in?
I don't think the price tag would be too high for a backup.
Because he could play.
No, I don't think the backup price is too
Yeah.
high. I mean, if I was them, I don't know why they haven't.
Call Tannehill.
Tannehill is
right
the guy.
there.
He's been in that offense.
I'm sure he's got his jersey.
Yeah. I don't understand why they wouldn't make that call right away.
Maybe he's done. Maybe they know more about Tannehill
Right.
than we
I
do.
mean, obviously nobody signed him during the offseason, so
Correct.
maybe
Maybe he's
the truth is out and he's finished. But I still think they probably should find a way to address that job. You mean there's a backup? There's a who they did sign somebody. Who'd they sign?
Who? Miami.
Miami.
I don't
They
know who
got
they signed.
Skyler.
I mean, look, I don't know who they signed.
Their starting quarterback is going to be Skyler or something, right?
Skyler Thompson.
Yes.
Skyler Thompson. And then they did sign a backup, the guy that used to be in Baltimore, Tyler Huntley.
Tyler Huntley, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if either of those guys are necessarily the answer.
not too
for them,
no.
but
Matthew Stafford would clearly be an upgrade over
Yeah.
one of those
Oh,
guys.
my God. Oh, my God, with Ty Hill.
Yeah.
Oh,
Jalen Waddle.
Oh, my God.
Pretty good. Super Crosstalk brought to you by In-N-Out. That's what a